Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first episode of Blades in the Dark, House of the Rising Sun. I'm going to hand it off to Ink, because it's Ink's show. Just doing the intro, Ink.
Oh, feel free. Hello, everyone.
Hi!
So, do we want to introduce ourselves? Or do we
Yeah.
want to just...
Let's
Yeah.
do a quick little intro for everybody. I think that's a good move. You start, Ink.
So, I am Ink. I am going to be GMing this game of Blades in the Dark. My pronouns are they, them. Siobhan, who are you?
Hi, I am Siobhan. My pronouns are she, her, and I am going to be playing a character in this, as you might expect, because I am not GMing.
Who's your character, Siobhan? Tell us about your character.
My character is a. I'm still learning
A
all
leech.
this. I was about to say lurk, and I knew that was wrong.
That was incorrect.
Where was
Yes.
not a lurk? Yeah, I'm a leech. So a leech by the name of Cloud, whose real name is Isha Sharesh, and they're a rogue bird doctor. It's probably the best way to describe them. Just think of that person who feeds too many pigeons at the park. We all know that person who's just like, I am responsible for this infestation of pigeons here. Nobody's supposed to feed them. Yeah, but I do. And
Crossed with, professional doping.
Yeah.
yeah, crossed with professional high-performance falcon doping.
Your character is Iruvian, right?
Yes.
And they have the what do you call it? The physicker skill, right off the bat. So they're kind of got some doctoring skills.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and they.
Sorry, I'm leading to relevant information.
Yeah, that is very, very relevant. Should I talk about their vice, or should I just
we can leave that for the story,
Yeah,
All right. Keep that in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Fabi. Who are you, Fabi?
Yeah.
Oh, that's me. I'm Favi. My pronouns are he, him. I am playing a character named Moth, who is their real name is Ruka Jaha.
Another
They are
Iruvian.
Iruvian disgraced noble who is definitely choosing the life of crime. They're I guess that's a little true. But they're a hound, as it says on the character sheet, and a sharpshooter. They are a sports shooter who has gone criminal.
Yes, the privileged noble sports shooter.
Yeah.
And Fabi is also a professional artist and a top tier RPM.
Yeah. You gotta introduce yourself as well, the real you.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah, I am a professional artist, and so people tell me to illustrate things, and I sometimes do it.
For money.
Well, depends. Sometimes it's not very.
Yeah, mostly for money.
Most of the time it's for money. Sometimes it's just rent or food or just a pat on the back.
Siobhan,
I am currently on a COVID vacation, but I am a professional elf support animal.
It's true. Siobhan is my partner, my lovely partner, IRL.
And who the heck are you, Elf?
Who am I? I am Distracted Elf. I run this Twitch channel and generally host cool things like this. I'm going to be playing a character named Ruby, who is a Tycherosi cutter. She's sort of a career criminal, underworld type, who is just recently being released from Ironhook prison. Her Tycherosi traits are that she has dark shark eyes and pointy sharp shark teeth. At least 2 rows of shark teeth, in there. So she's got a wicked smile. And you'll meet her soon, I'm sure.
Shall we begin?
Of course. Well, Ink, what about you?
I mean, I'm Ink. I've introduced myself.
Yeah, but you
My
didn't tell us
pronouns.
anything other than your pronouns and that you're Ink. Do you have any other like relevant information?
I made this little this little thing we're seeing on screen.
Yeah, the map. It's so cool. I mean,
It's
the
pretty
map.
I
very
did.
cool.
I didn't make the map, but I put it together from various.
The map is sourced. Yeah, but the technical image of it being a piece of paper on a desk was Ink's job.
And I have GM'd a copious amount of Blades in the Dark, and it is definitely my favorite system, and it's just so good.
Then
just all the mechanics, the way it works.
I'm very excited to have you GM it then. Yeah, very very much so. But yeah,
I'm
so
very
we
happy that someone who's good at the system is going to be able to help me learn the system. So bear with me as I dive into this for the very first time.
Ink and I have the most experience with Blades, and then Siobhan has a little bit, and then Fabi is basically a new player. So there will be some mechanical explanations as we go. Just for everybody's sake. But Ink, I'm ready when you wanna go.
All right, let us begin. We fade in on a barren wasteland of ash and petrified trees. This is a dead world, illuminated only by flashes of lightning and dim starlight. Scouring winds whip sodden grit into the driving rain, and our camera moves fast and low past this ragged coastline being hammered by waves from an ink-black sea that is somehow filled with stars. As the camera tilts upwards, we approach this colossal pylon of latticed wrought iron, crackling with electrical discharge, and supporting this great big ring of St. Elmo's fire. This is a barrier that separates the howling, lifeless netherworld out there from the bustling everyday in here. A smoggy, dark industrial cityscape, the Victorian era. This is a city in a bubble, confined within this snow globe of psychedelic auroral light. As we rush past this lightning barrier, we sort of fly over cramped rows of eateries, dense urban farms, into this incredibly shabby-looking, ramshackle district on the city's edge. And looming on the bank of the river ahead is this great big brutalist slab of a structure. It's squat, it's drab grey concrete, it's ringed by this really thick, heavy, turreted wall. It's damp and dreary out. It's this chilly morning, so cold that your breath fogs in front of you. There's this drizzle that just soaks into your clothing and glitters in the harsh glare of these humming electroplasmic floodlights. The air smells of piss and rotting garbage, and we title in Ironhook Prison, the city of Duskwall, 847 IE, 2 days ago. So, Elf, what does the interior of Ironhook Prison look like, and what do we see? We see a caged Ruby. What does that look like?
So the camera, as you were saying, sort of like pans in through a cell window, because I think there are windows to the outside of this like brutalist structure. And Ruby is sitting on a bench, in like her bed, basically in this prison cell, and it is as dreary as you would imagine a Victorian like sort of prison could be. It is wet. It is moldy. It is like a gross place to live, and cramped despite it all. The bars are sort of like this really like rust coated, almost like oxidized sort of iron. And a guard walks by in the sort of background, like along the gangway.
They definitely do the thing where they like run there.
Yeah, I was gonna say run.
The...
The baton over the like the clank 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 of the baton over the bars.
So why are you in here, Ruby?
Ruby has been in and out of Ironhook probably her entire life. And as she sits on the bed, it's clear she's like waiting for something to happen. She's been sort of on the streets, on and off, career criminal style, going to jail for one reason or another. This one was for a robbery that she swears she didn't commit, but she's been known to lie about that stuff before.
So as this warden is doing the clank 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 of the baton over the bars of all the cells, and reaches Ruby's, they stop. And they peer into the darkness at the kind of caged Ruby, and we see behind them that there's another guard. They're in this kind of like, it would look official if it didn't look so old and shabby and dirty, grey, like big overcoats. There's a jangling of keys on their belts, and they unlock the cell door without a word, and they come in and like, there's a split second where they're kind of measuring up. Do we have to grab you?
Yeah, I don't think she like gets aggressive in any way, but she's smiling really wide. Like the like shark tooth smile is like very it's like a stress response almost, you know, but that it looks a little off-putting. With her like lank blonde hair that's like kind of grown a little long in prison, like you know, across her face. And she like reaches up to brush it back out of her eyes, and looks up at them as if like waiting for them to give her some kind of direction. Because it's not usual that they would like bust into her cell.
So yeah, one of them just kind of like takes you by the shoulder and is like almost pulls you to your feet, and then it is the definite, the non-verbal signal of "come with us."
Yeah.
They don't say a word to you. They kind of, there's this sort of sneering look on their faces. They kind of like turn their noses up a bit as if they're like repulsed by the smell of the cell. And then we probably have a like little title montage of walking down the dingy corridors of Ironhook Prison.
And this place is packed, right? Like this is an absolute like madhouse of a prison. Like it's like an oubliette of a prison.
Grabbing onto the cell bars and jeering at you. There's the kind of like, oh, they don't know where you're going, but they're like, wherever you're going, they're shouting at you. And like, you are led down into the bowels of Ironhook Prison and out into the courtyard, where there is a gallows, and a noose has been like all nice and set up.
Oh no.
And they walk you in toward, they like, you can tell that they're looking at you for some kind of reaction, and they're walking you towards it. And
yeah,
like,
I think she resists a little bit when the gallows is in front of her. She's like, I don't think what I did was that bad.
And like, as soon as there's any kind of hesitation, there's the jab in the small back of the baton, and like, get moving.
Yeah, and I imagine she's sort of like bound or otherwise not able to resist very easily.
Probably shackled behind your back.
Yeah.
And how anything you want to do here, or will you be led forward?
I mean, I need to get the hell out of here if I can. But I can't do it with two guards right on my back. Right, so I think she's like there's this calculating look, you know, to her as she's like pushed forward towards this gallows, because they're not gonna both walk up here if this is what's gonna happen, you know, like maybe I can find some escape. And I look around to see if there's anywhere else that I could like bolt to if I needed to. Like, where are we? Like a courtyard or?
Yeah, you're in the courtyard of Ironhook. You can see it on the map there. There's this like little square.
Oh yeah.
Bit. There's probably like sentries covering this whole place. Yeah. Right in the middle there. You are like completely boxed in, and they lead you towards it. And at the very last moment, before they're due to lead you up the steps, they turn and they lead you in a different direction.
Okay.
There's this like, they like snicker and laugh behind your back.
Fucking jerks.
You can like, they find this super.
There is like a sigh of relief though from Ruby, like, okay, they're fucking with me, you know, like where are we actually going? She doesn't bother to vocalize it because like they're not gonna tell her.
Yeah, we cut to processing, to various kind of like stamps coming down onto paper, your manacles being removed, and then you're just unceremoniously kicked outside,
Like
basically.
dumped out the
Into
door. Yeah.
into the mud, into the driving rain, and your clothes are just instantly soaked by the harsh drizzle. And in front of you, there is a dark figure with an umbrella. How do you imagine Grace looks?
How do I imagine Grace looks? Grace, remind us who Grace is and
So
Quale.
Grace ties together a lot of our PCs. Her real name is Anya, and she is a half Iruvian noble. She is her mother was a descendant of the giant alchemists. Her father was a Sparkwright. They met at Charter Hall, and so she is like between two worlds. And she is also an an alumna of the Red Sash Sword Academy, which Ruby is also.
She has ungraduated history with the Red Sashes, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like she was there for a time.
Anya is also the fiance, the ex fiance of our lovely Moth.
Lovely Moth. Yeah.
Moth doesn't know that Grace is actually Anya.
Yeah. So I think Grace is understated. You know, the black umbrella is sort of like the most distinctive thing about what she's wearing. I think she has very dark hair, tied very like simply. And I think that she's probably wearing a heavy coat given the rain, and the sort of like wet environment, as well as some sort of like sturdy boots because she's like relatively of means.
Mm-hmm. Beneath that, there's probably like a quite a fancy silken outfit, like possibly
yeah,
a dress.
I'm just like, from what you can see, it's just like a heavy coat. Yeah.
And there's definitely one of those curved Iruvian scimitars at her waist. And like it looks very ceremonial, and she looks very. She's like relatively diminutive and relatively delicate looking, like delicate features and not like tremendously intimidating.
On the opposite end, Ruby is really tall. She's like a beanpole. She's very lanky.
Yeah, how do you?
And
how was it you were describing Ruby again?
I described her as like Gwendolyn Christie with shark features, if they were like lankier. So she's got like kind of a very like I don't know how to describe it properly, but she's probably not wearing the clothes that I would describe her as wearing usually. At the moment, she's got like the coat on she was wearing when she got arrested, you know, like this sort of brown patchwork thing. And she's like clasping her other belongings like in her hands, so she's like thrown out the gates. And on seeing Grace, she looks over and smiles her ridiculously wide smile, and says, "Well, I didn't think you'd be waiting for me."
Get in, and she like sort of almost shoves into your chest this like bag of stuff that you didn't take into Iron Hook with you that she's been holding for you. And yeah, she looks very unthreatening. You're like looming over her, but you have also seen her gouge people's eyes out. And
I sure have.
and
Yes.
break kneecaps. She's a lot more dangerous than she looks. And behind the two of you, a like nondescript looking horse carriage pulls up. And she like, yeah, just sort of angrily yanks the door open and beckons you in. She doesn't help you at all.
Yeah, I think
it is very. Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead inside.
Inside is very plushy. It's real red velvet.
And, very nice.
Soft pillows and like it doesn't look too much from the outside. This is like the incognito carriage, but inside it looks it's the luxury that you've definitely been missing in the austere environment of Iron Hook.
So nice. Ruby climbs on in and like sits down as if she's climbed in and sat down in a carriage like this many times before. And like says across to Grace like, how'd you even know when I was getting out? I didn't even know when I was getting out.
You can't imagine the strings I had to pull, the markers called in. So there won't be a next time. And you almost expect that, like, in this situation in the past, she's always been like paying you. There's like a certain sneer on her face, and she shakes her head and says, "There'll be no more slugs, but for a good while are. It is lean times, and you are in the shit book. You want to worm your way back into my good graces, then you damn well better earn it.
Well,
Devil's a hell of a creditor."
Wouldn't want to upset you, Grace. What sort of good graces are we talking about?
I'm sure you'll make it up to me. You're welcome. And like her sort of like angry demeanor there's just snaps, and just this veneer of charm just floods back in. So how is the slammer? A little bird tells me that our dear friends are still on for your little escapade.
Oh, well, you know, they always find some reason to throw me back in one way or another.
A magistrate owed me a favor.
Pulling in magistrate favors for little old me. Wow.
Oh, but you're keeping an eye on my little Moth. He still doesn't suspect a thing, and keep it that way.
I don't really know why you bother, but all right.
People are the foundation of this city. People are the foundation of everything. Know your friends, know your enemies, know everyone else. That's true power.
What I want to know is a bath right now.
Let us be going then. And she like raps on the sort of front of the carriage, and these carriages are not drawn by horses. They are drawn by these gigantic horse-sized Tycherosi goats.
Big goat.
With huge horns. They are bred specially by the cabbies for this purpose, and they start to set off with the sort of clatter of hooves and the sort of the wheels on cobble towards the lights of the city.
Yes.
So
that was a good intro.
Do we want to? So I've asked this question before, but do we want to introduce our other two scoundrels, or do we want to cut immediately into the score? I think we wanted to cut immediately into the score, right? But I also
cut right in, yeah.
Okay. So
I mean, now that you've seen the Power of Ink's intro game, like, maybe you got a different opinion.
I'm intimidated.
So I'm cutting us over to the Silkshore map. This map was created by the wonderful Old Dog Games. You can buy this. It is incredibly detailed and very, very cool.
It's very awesome. Let me zoom out here. There we go.
And we have in the ease, which is the Silkshore is very much the Venice district, and it's the red light district. It is the place you come to buy pleasure. Duskfall, as a city, is a horrible place. The sun never rises. It is in constant darkness. It is grinding. The separation between rich and poor, and Silkshore is where people come to forget that they live in this horrible, nightmarish industrial hellscape. We are taking this house here, Sunrise House. It was formerly we can get into the specifics later, right?
We sure can.
How are you approaching this, and what have you done to have you like asked around, gathered information, like
I mean, I think if we're planning to take the place, we definitely will have wanted to do some research into like who is there. But if we're talking about an approach, then there are a couple. So
because this is on your hunting ground mechanically, you get a free downtime action, which you don't have to use. You can use it as a flashback, and you get some bonus to gather information. This can be a gentle introductory intro to the rolling system. Who wants to gather some information on the situation at Sunrise House?
I would like to.
Ooh.
Yeah, Cloud, let's go.
All right.
How are you doing this? Like fictionally, what do we see Cloud doing?
All right. So Cloud is like they're a gangly figure that's usually wearing like I think oiled cloth that's like layered in various stages of disrepair and like murky and concealing their features. Um, and despite like I imagine them climbing on top of some of these ramshackle roofs, not through any like grace or skill, but just sheer persistence of like I'm going to gut up that thing. No, 1 foot here, 1 foot here. They climb up, and I think they've been trying to find, like looking from the city from as high a perspective they can, of somewhere that's like, okay, where is somewhere quasi abandoned that nobody's using? Like we need to focus in. For our grand and glorious plan that's definitely not going to fail in any way whatsoever. We need a place to be, and I want to find somewhere that no one else has noticed so that we can possibly take it for ourselves.
Okay. Everywhere in Duskfall is claimed by someone because it is a city in a bottle. Part of the nature of the beast is that every square inch, every tiny piece of soil, someone owns that. And if you want it, you've got to take it off of someone. Even Sunrise House. So Sunrise House lay abandoned for a while because it was the site of some unpleasantness, and the spirit wardens had to get involved and drag everyone out. It lay sort of like suspiciously unclaimed for a while, but it isn't very long before it becomes a squat. How are you?
It's a matter of finding like, okay, so there are some squats that probably are around and they're pretty well known. So which squats have the people who go in with like the least amount of help? Like where's the squat where people go to die? That's probably the one that we want.
Everyone knows that the Sunrise House is ripe for the picking, and it's not necessarily because people go in there to die. It has a population of transient minks who are the sex workers of Duskfall in general. I imagine that the gender ratio is probably a lot more even because the only axis of oppression, the axis of oppression in Duskfall is class, and there's like a lot of the faction leaders are women. There's a lot less of that like shittiness.
Yeah.
Homophobia, transphobia, sexism probably is really diminished in Duskfall. It's more about the rich crushing you under their boot. Moth crushing you under his boot.
Oof.
But now he is the one that is crushed.
He is now the underboot.
The crushy.
Sunrise House is a grand building. Like it's old, and it's definitely being underutilized. Everyone knows that it's just a matter of time before it becomes something else. So it is. But how are you? What are you doing to gather information on its current occupants, on its current situation? What do we see? Like, so Cloud has found. I think maybe like Ruby has maybe been made aware of it. Cloud is aware of it. Like, the two of you definitely know that this place is the place.
Yeah, Cloud's not particularly sneaky or subtle. So I think they're just being a creep. They're just kind of like looking through windows,
sitting on a roof, peering down at the occupants.
Yeah. I will ask you the leading question: are you surveying the terrain, the area?
Yes. Sorry, I am attempting to survey the terrain.
So now we can talk about the roll.
Yeah.
So you have on your card to survey.
I do.
And you will get a +1 bonus. You get a +1 bonus to survey on your hunting ground. And this little square here, or like trapeze, is your hunting ground now. It is. So this one is a fortune roll. There is no position and effect here.
All right.
It is just about how much information you gather.
So I just put effect standard then?
Yeah, just roll them standard and do a +1.
And then I have one bonus dice.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a partial success. This is not a failure. The highest die is 4. So you see people coming at you, like you see that this place, people come and go, all kinds of transients, shady types, minks who don't have anywhere else to stay, have come and set up here. But over the last couple of days, someone else has made their home here that looks a little bit tougher. You don't really get the like, you don't get the total situation, but it looks like some low tier gang has like decided to come in and play landlord. They are setting up there.
So there is some resistance.
And you see, like, occasionally you will see them like harassing the people that are in there already. Like maybe they're extracting payment, maybe they're just being an ass, but like there's like, you can feel a little bit of resentment there.
Well, I think Cloud's next move is to go knock on Moth's door, like very insistently, probably at like completely irregardless to whatever hour it is. Like they just had an idea and now they're going.
And
So
Moth is where's Moth staying?
Yeah, because Moth has been disowned by his family. He had a scandalous affair while engaged to someone else.
If I might,
scandalous affair with. Go for it.
If I might make a suggestion, I am sure that Ruby would recommend the red lamp.
Well, there was this idea that Moth was staying in the same place that Cloud was tending to her birds most often. I'm not sure exactly if she's tending to birds at the moment.
We need to get the Sunrise House first, I think.
Oh, very well. Yeah. So
here's another leading question: is it Sunrise House that you're staying? Are you one of the squatters?
yes.
So that gather information role, we'll just like Blaze is not a very no take backs kind of game, so let's roll that into
yeah.
Cloud found the perfect place for Moth to live, and you have been squatting here in Sunrise House for a while. There's like people coming and going, but over the last few days, a gang affiliated to the Lampblacks, but not the Lampblacks, has come in and been like so you've been living fine there because it's free, and someone came in and was like, right, now this is ours and you got to pay us. But this place would be great if you could just seize it.
And that's the intent, especially because I assume if anyone were to say, "Hey, this place is ours," it would be a very swift. Okay, yeah, cool. I'll get out of here.
The guy in charge is a man called Ballard Colburn. He is this roguish type with like, he's slim, wiry. He wears suspenders, really tall knee-length boots. He's got this like ruffled shirt with plenty of collars, a tricorn hat. Like he's got like tons of, like, it's all thrown together.
Yeah.
A bunch of fancy pistols. He likes to think of himself as like this real sophisticated guy. And he kind of like peacocks about. And his sister is like the muscle. She is like this this brawny ex-Leviathan hunter. And she does the intimidating. So let's just cut straight into let's do the Blades
score.
Thing. Cut to the action. And would you? Yeah, let's just okay. So one of you roll me an engagement roll, and you can do that on the crew sheet, I believe.
Yes, I think so. Would you like to go through the process that we're engaging in here?
So to streamline this, we will do the full process next time. I've already gone through the process.
Okay, all right.
Just roll 2 dice.
roll 2 engagement dice. All right. Let me find the button.
And I'll note for our audience that this is a very stripped down version of the process that you'd usually go through to initiate a score.
I have failed the engagement.
Perfect. I love it.
This means failing the engagement roll is winning, really, because it just makes things more exciting.
Yeah.
The engagement roll determines your initial position when you start the score. If you a high number, a 6, a success, means that you're in a controlled position when the action starts, and 1 to 3 means that you're in a desperate position when the action starts. So you have just kicked in the door to this place, and there hasn't been much time really to open up for like threatening negotiations. You've just been like grabbed from behind by the sister. I'm talking to Ruby here.
Yep.
Did you all go in the front door together?
I definitely took the front door. I don't know if the others, maybe Moth is coming from their room or like wherever they were squatting.
Moth is already in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Moth got the time wrong. And is definitely didn't realize that this was Ruby coming through the door. So Moth is certainly not ready for this.
Moth is like getting up.
like putting his boots on and like brushing his teeth kind of thing. So that's the unfortunate side of this, is that Moth is like a good hour behind.
So Cloud is timely there. I think Cloud would have been there ready to greet Ruby at the door, but probably isn't prepared for anyone to actually like be expecting them or be ready for them.
Immediate violence. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Just because it starts in a desperate situation, you are one of the things about Blaze is that you are professionals. Your characters are really competent. Failures are much more about the world pushing back against you than they are about you necessarily. It's not like, haha, you rolled a fail, you drop your sword and then trip over it on a banana peel and you go flying. Ha. It is a lot more about you get the shot perfect and they just dodge out of the way at the last moment. But so you are all there, and Hester, who is the sister, grabs Ruby from behind and says like, "What do we got here?"
And so Ruby is like in some kind of grapple from behind.
Yeah, it is like headlock. She is so Hester is. You can see, like, on her arm, she's been tattooed with this Aurochs tattoo, and you recognize it as this is Triss's work. And Triss is a tattoo artist that only tattoos people who have stared into the eye of a Leviathan. Only people who have seen a Leviathan and survived. Hester has this a really massive silver nose ring that goes through like the whole of the nose, not just the septum, that makes her look like a cow. And she has a chain wrapped around her forearm as kind of like she uses a chain as brass knuckles.
Okay, yeah. I think Ruby, like, being restrained is not something she enjoys or will let happen, if she can avoid it, right, at any point. So I think the immediate first thing she does is just try and ram her head back into that ring on the nose, like just try and like get her to like let go of this grapple by just like headbutting back at her face.
Okay. Let us begin then. So
yes.
So this is a.
I think this is
a skirmish. What action?
I think this is skirmish because it's just a straight fighting.
So let us talk about how the position and effect system works. So, an action roll resolves both your action and the opposition. There are two components to it, and one of them is position, which is how risky is this action you're attempting, and what is the opponent's level of threat, skill, etc.
Prowess, yeah.
And effect, which is how difficult is this action. So what is exactly your intent here? Is your intent?
My intent is to get her to release me. Yeah.
Okay. So I think you can do that. Your effect is standard,
Okay.
and your position, as dictated by the engagement roll, is desperate.
He's desperate.
She is as you would expect from a seasoned Leviathan hunter marine. In the meantime, there are about three or four of them around the 3 or 4 more thugs around the room who immediately draw weapons and start advancing on. They've already identified you. Like you get that you've been rumbled.
Yeah.
Whatever your intent was, they were one step ahead. They were ready for you.
Somebody has told them we were coming. Something like that. Yeah.
And the people in the room, we've got Ballard, who is reaching for a gun. Next to him is a lady that is kind of the leader of the minks that are squatting here. Her name is Belle, and she is like middle-aged, kind of plump. She's really well dressed in in furs, although they're very shabby. And one of her legs is like the knee is kind of clearly been broken and poorly healed, and so she is in a wheelchair. And she is writing. She has a little quill, and she is writing in a log. She was writing in a logbook when you arrived, and then she is kind of giving the whole situation this very perceptive, kind of like measured look of like as if she's trying to weigh up what's happening.
Sure, she hasn't decided what she's gonna do yet. Can I suggest or ask? Does anyone have a devil's bargain to get me some more dice on this? So. To explain, a devil's bargain is I get an extra die, but some consequence definitely happens. You know, so like it would be something like I get an extra die, but in doing this I accidentally something or another.
So I've got one for you. Which
okay.
Is that either way, whether she drops you or not, Hester will have pulled your little stiletto dagger. What was the type of dagger you're using?
Like a misericord, like the ones that knights use to like jab through helmets and stuff. Yeah.
So she will take that misericord from wherever you've like holstered it.
Okay. All right.
Disarm you.
All right. No, I'm not gonna take that. I'm just gonna roll and we'll see what happens. Here we go. I need my dagger. Oh, 6, baby.
So that means you get. So we like slow motion. You whip your head back. How does it look? Paint me a picture here.
Yeah. So again, like this ever-present like smile in amusing and stressful situations alike, like plastered across her face. She's sort of sets her stance and then just like slams her head back into Orox's or Hester or whatever it was face. Like immediate, nose broken, blood everywhere, kind of a situation. And she escapes the sort of briefly loosened grasp of the shook, strong lady. And slips her weapon, out of her like vest pocket, basically.
So it's in your hand now.
Yeah, and it's in my hand.
And you're.
And I am free.
She staggers back a few paces, and probably swears at you. Everyone else is like, we're in this kind of time dilated. Like everyone is starting to draw. Ballard is drawing a gun. Moth and Cloud. What are you doing?
What are the
you're kind of like off guard, but you are. Oh, and we should probably, I forgot, we should probably set our load for the score. So I'm imagining that, like, Ruby is probably heavy load.
Yeah, Ruby went in heavy.
And...
I think Leech was also going in heavy. Like...
And Cloud with the full gear.
Oh, sorry, not Leech, Cloud. Goodness gracious. I need her. Cloud is heavy, for sure.
With Moth having been there, it's likely that they would have been very prepared for this moment, and so I'm assuming
the trade-off here the trade-off here is in a lot of scores it's like if you're heavy load, then you look a lot more like a scoundrel who is ready for war, whereas you look a little bit more, you can blend in if you have a light load. There is also like mobility. If you're light, you can be doing a lot more jumping around. If you're heavy load, you might be weighed down a little bit more.
But you also have like an armor.
But you have
use.
like armor, weapons. Yeah, so it makes sense for all of you to have heavy load here. This is something I should have asked at the very beginning.
But it's good. It's good. We're doing, slow tutorial, right?
Yeah. All right. I think Cloud is throwing up their arms and going, "Hey, everybody! Wait! I've got an order that says that, this place is ours now. Can I cut back to a scene where Cloud has forged this document?
Oh, document flashback.
You can absolutely cut back to a scene where you forge this document. So I think, like, stress cost for flashbacks, you can just have this one for free, right? Like, it's something that you can reasonably have done, thought to have prepared for this. So there's no stress cost for this. How did you forge this?
So I'm just trying to I might need to poll people for a bit more blades, Silkshore. One of us has a connection within the blue coats, right?
No, I don't think we have a blue coat connection.
Okay, never mind.
But I do, my vice purveyor is the red lamp lady, Madame Teslin, who I'm sure could get anything.
And like finesse is probably the like handwriting forgery kind of skill.
The skill.
Right? Yeah. Well, what if I
it could be badly forged. I mean,
yeah, it probably is badly forged. So it.
And remember that even if you have no dots in a thing, you can push yourself and still have a 50% chance of success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna do that. So this was Cloud's brilliant plan. They woke up in the middle of the night. It's like, hey, we could just take this place if we have the paper that says we're allowed to take this place. So I don't think Cloud has ever really seen an official deed document or anything like that in their entire life. So they're just guessing. They're like putting together some like fancy looking seal. They've tinkered together a little like
I'm assuming this is what they woke Moth
I
up
mean,
in the middle of the night
if you've tinkered this together, so like you're suggesting that you're using tinker, and you can absolutely choose to do this. I will. This is probably limited effect, especially since you haven't seen any of these before, or don't have a good reference for it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're probably familiar enough with the like Tycherosi legal like bits and pieces that you can.
Yeah, I will say that that they put Moth's like real name on it. Like they're like pretending this like Moth actually owns this place.
As a noble, that has some pull, right?
As a noble, it's like, yes, this trash fire inherited by great uncle's twice removed will to go to Moth.
Okay, so you're
I'm fabricating a claim.
The risk here is probably undue attention, right? Like it's going to be heat. The risk here is that in forging this thing, you are letting the authority, you're putting a forged thing into circulation and committing a crime.
No. Cloud's not committing a crime. Cloud's name isn't on here at all.
So your position, I think, is controlled because you're doing this. You're not doing this in a firefight. You're doing this back home. You're controlled, limited.
Controlled, limited, and you can push yourself.
You can push yourself to get an extra die. You can also push yourself to increase the effect.
If you would rather.
To stay it really late. Yeah, you can do both. You could also take a devil's bargain.
I'll just push myself. I'll just push myself to get an extra die.
And that's how many stress to push yourself?
2, right?
Yes. 2 per push.
Okay.
A 4. That's
Four?
that's a
Four.
That is a success.
limited
So,
success.
you have kind of a thing that might distract people for a few seconds. That's
Enough
like
to
good
get
enough.
Moth into
Yeah.
position.
Yeah. And we are going to be taking a little bit of heat, so we will tick 2 tick. Actually, just let's tick 1 heat on the crew sheet.
Okay, all right. You want me to keep track of that? I can do that.
Yeah, go for it. And do you want to resist? Do you want to resist this?
You can resist the heat consequence. Yes, it is possible. Any consequence can be resisted. You just have to choose how you would resist it.
Even like a partial success can be turned into a regular success by resisting everything. Although in some cases the magnitude of the consequence might come down instead of disappearing entirely.
Yeah. Siobhan, did we lose you?
Oh, sorry. I got distracted by cats who are trying to. So you all cannot hear this. I'm just gonna break for a moment. But there are 2 cats meowing at me constantly now for their dinner.
Yeah. Soon.
Soon. On break, they will get theirs.
Yeah.
We're not there yet.
So
I apologize.
Ink was just explaining that you can resist any consequence. That heat that you gained, you could resist it if you.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Okay, all right.
We'll just take it.
Roll with it.
Yeah.
So I think that leaves. What's the result of this controlled limited?
So the result of this is that yes. So Ballard pulls his gun. He's going to point it at Moth. But he doesn't open fire. And he holds up a hand to like indicate to like maybe not just go for it right now. It becomes a tense standoff. And he says, but possession is 9/10 of the law, eh? And she looks like we outnumber you. She looks like we done the hard work to get this place up and running. So maybe we'll just take that off you, eh?
Moth, having similarly drawn his gun and holding hand up, mimicking Ballard, replies, well, you do know I have been living here quite some time, so I think I have my rightful claim to it. Also, the paperwork's in order.
I don't know how you shit-ass nobles do things up in your fancy towers down here. Down here, what you keep, what you hold.
I think Ruby like gives Moth a look that's like there's a look in her like expression that's like you should just shoot the gun you're pointing at him. You know what I mean? Like
it doesn't take much after that. After the word shit ass noble, there's a bang in the room, and maybe perhaps some surprised looks on some faces as Moth's gun had fired.
Where is Moth aiming?
Oh, right at Ballard.
Right
at his midsection.
Okay, just going for the center mass. Yeah.
Professional shot. You know.
You intending to kill him?
Not. I don't want him to die right away.
He's probably wearing. I mean, is he?
He's probably wearing some kind of armor. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's not. You know, I can't imagine Ballard being a pushover.
Yeah. Okay, so let's. This is potency is the factor. Is the scale factor in play here? Is the factor in play here, which is gun is very potent against an armored human. So your effect is great. Your position is desperate.
Wonderful.
Because you are. So you are surrounded. You really are outnumbered. So. You're outscaled. The scale of this fight is not in your favor.
Yeah,
so
we will have limited effect.
yeah, you will quickly end up getting swarmed and beaten down. However, what you're intending to do is kill this one, is like shoot this one guy, which you can do.
Yeah, you want to incapacitate the leader, right? Like, that's the way to go.
Well, yeah.
And like the system will take into account stuff like, do you have a way of dealing with the scale of the gang? So like, do you have a way of funneling them into a single choke point? Do you have a way of, do you have, not to be trifled with, that you're just fighting all of them at once? That kind of stuff. But for now, yeah, your desperate great effect to shoot Ballad
Now,
directly in the center mass.
Keep in mind, if you want to increase your dice, you can push yourself for 2 stress to like get an extra die to roll. You can ask for a devil's bargain, which is like the thing that we were talking about earlier, where you can eat a consequence for sure, but you get an extra die. If you're looking to like up your chances, these are the ways you can do it.
And what roll would this be?
So it's a hunt. It's a hunt.
It's a hunt.
It's a hunt roll.
You choose. It is the prerogative of the
It
player.
is up to you.
To tell me what you are rolling, and then I will take that into account in setting position and effect. So if you're like, yeah, I shoot him and I want to use sway, then I will make the position the effect 0 because you can't talk a bullet into someone.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, definitely. Okay, so yeah, it is definitely hunt. And it, a little bit of style of interrupting him as soon as he gets too far into his spiel.
Something about shit ass nobles, then you shoot a bullet at him.
Yeah. Ugh. So we'll be doing a hunt roll.
Yeah. So that
the position is desperate.
Yep. And the effect is great. But remember, you can add bonus die in various ways.
Okay. So my devil's bargain for you is the like Telltale game style. Ballad will remember this, but for the gang in general, that this will be much more. And this is interestingly, this is like a consequence that we're choosing almost out of character as opposed to like an in-character trade-off. Mm-hmm. But is that this is an insult that will not go unanswered.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's...
I take that for an extra die. Hell yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's gonna happen anyways. So we're pissing people off. I mean, come on. I'm all in on pissing people off. So is Moth. Moth would absolutely love this. So, all right, we have a desperate position. So when I click it, it just has the position. There's the drop down for desperate. I click submit.
Yeah, and then it should give you the next one.
This one. What is the effect?
Great.
And the effect is great, and you should, at some way, you should have put in 1 extra die.
But that comes last.
Aha.
Oh, 6!
Oh, goodness.
Yeah! Right. Desperate, great, and a 6. Ooh!
He just crumples. You just he's like about to go into this big spiel, and he feels in control of the situation because he's surrounded by his gang. But it's the Mal Reynolds shooting the operative thing, right? He's like, you're right, like, I'm unarmed, and he's like, good, and just shoots him.
Yeah. Can I take immediate action? And try and command the rest of the gang. Like, I want to like seize control of the situation and be like, and that's what happens when you fuck with us. Like, get out of here.
So the action that is Hester, the sister, springs into action. She is like charging at you from behind. You can absolutely command. That is the risk that you are facing, is that you are still locked in combat with Hester.
Yeah.
Who is now incensed by her brother.
I'm basically trying to like stand down the rest of the gang. I want to point out that I'm not directing this at necessarily like the minx, but like anyone who is currently wielding a weapon or being hostile in any particular way, I'm trying to like cow them.
Yeah, the shooting their boss sends them immediately into like action mode. But it's like lion taming, right? The making of the noises, the kind of like making yourself look bigger and just being like, you could even a scrawny human can hold back a lion with enough force of personality.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do
So-
it this way so I don't have to stab anyone, basically.
So your position is still desperate. You
I
are
love
still in-
desperate. Desperate is great.
Oh, so I will mention another thing. So every time you roll a desperate action, you are getting a tick of experience, which will kind of tally up after this scene is over. But if you're familiar, like Elf, with the system, then feel free to just like add those XP ticks.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you are commanding. This is a command roll. Your position is desperate. Your effect is limited because you are outnumbered.
That's fair.
You can push yourself.
I am going to push myself
in-
to up my effect.
to
to
increase the effect
standard.
to be able to do this, to be able to stand them down.
Can I also push myself to get an extra die, or
You
you can push yourself twice in one scene? Okay,
so you can effect. You can push yourself for effect. You can push yourself for a die. You can also push yourself for effect and take a devil's bargain.
Okay.
So my devil's bargain is that however this goes, actually, this is difficult because
it is tough.
It has to function even if you fail the roll. Because I'm thinking that like the devil's bargain is whatever happens, Hester and Ballard. Yeah, Hester is going for Ballard to get him out anyway. So whatever happens, Hester will get Ballard out.
Okay.
They will survive. They will live another day.
Yep, sounds good. I will take that. I'm not trying to stop them from leaving. In fact, I'm trying to encourage them to leave. Let's see. Boom! Another 6. Hell yeah, rolling hot.
So yeah, she unwraps that chain from her forearm and swings it at you, and you presumably duck out of the way, right? What does that look like?
Yeah, I think she just kind of sidesteps it. You know, like there's a very deft sort of lean that gets out of the way of the like incoming chain as she's like yelling to try and like, you know, get them to leave.
She then like charges you like a bull, and again you just like a bullfight, you just sidestep.
Yep, she just matadors that shit.
She ends up in the center. She then she makes a snap calculate, and like even though she's like incredibly brawny and tough, you can see the gears turning in her mind that she's just constantly calculating out what's happening here. She just rushes as though she's about to attack, but then like grabs Ballard, leaps over the couch that he's perched on, and like makes for the stairs for a door into another room. Meanwhile, you've got this command. The thugs who are now leaderless. They look at one another, and then they sheath their weapons.
All right.
They really gingerly like. You can see the look in their eyes. It's kind of like, we're not being paid enough for this. They're like, I'm not going to risk my neck over.
I feel like the follow up to that is Ruby being like, all right, now we can talk like reasonable people about what we're going to do here. Sort of straightens herself out a little, runs a hand through her hair.
And the various thugs, like 3 or 4 of them, they're like also looking towards the exit, and they're kind of like, they're weighing up. Can they get out? Like they're giving you that like, are we free to leave? Look.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's up to me. I think I have done the control that I can do with one action. I would say like the situation is de-escalated.
Moth, you've just shot the boss.
Yeah. So Moth kind of looks over this gaggle of thugs, and just kind of tilts his head towards the door and says, "Like I said, I have the paperwork in order. So get out."
Ruby doesn't look like she's gonna stop them.
The gang scatter. They just like they make themselves scarce. And Belle wheels around to you, Moth, and raises an eyebrow and says, good riddance. So Where does that leave us, Moth?
Well, I'm not going to kick a cripple out. That's just rude.
You could probably, like, there's the camera would pan to Cloud, and you can see, like, the face palm.
The cringe, yeah.
The cringe is just visceral. Like,
well, you want to step in, yeah.
Yeah, so at that point, Moth just kind of looks between the rest of them and almost ignores everything else and just kind of sheaths his pistol and looks over to Cloud.
Wouldn't you like to have a hand fixing this place up? You know, it's kind of just me and Ruby and you and this paper. There's a lot of work.
I'm certainly not going to shed any tears over Ballard and Hester. And she like looks down to her leg. If you're more agreeable.
Oh, I'm nothing but agreeable, Miss Belle. You know me. We'll, I'm sure we'll cultivate a long working relationship if you'd like to stay around.
And she like sort of like sighs slightly and is like, professionals then. Good.
Well, professional. We'll see how these two do.
hey, that is quite rude. The Cloud slams the paper on the table, and then goes to like they're looking around the room, like looking for a place to like nail it to the wall, kind of. Unless somebody stops them, they're going over to like on top of like one of the doorways, maybe on top of the door coming in, like goes to like hammer it in.
The walls of this place are just like so run down. There's like parts of it's just crumbling away, and you can see the like framework behind it. It's all like it smells of damp, like the kind of like damp mold. It's really just like the rain has soaked in. No one has been maintaining this place in months. But you can still see the remnants of like at one point this was really fancy, and then a whole bunch of like spirit soldiers kicked in the door and ripped the place apart, and then it's just been left to go to ruin.
I think Ruby makes her way over to Moth and says, "You know, instead of sending them away, we could have seen if those extra guns might have been useful. I mean, they're just getting paid. Could have paid them ourselves."
With what money? Hammer.
Yeah.
Moth, he runs a hand through his hair and then kind of looks over towards Ruby and says, you know, Cloud's right. We don't actually have any money. Besides, you two are capable. You could fix up the decor.
Hammer.
You do actually have. You have 2 coin in your vault, which you start with as it is. The 2 coin in your vault is explicitly your life savings. It is every penny you have, all
coins
pushed together.
We're gonna rub them together.
Yeah. They call them coin because like the Empire minted these big coins. A coin is a briefcase full of money.
Yeah.
But they call them coin because it was like this unit of currency that's just so valuable. Like no one ever pays for anything in coin. The currency people use for everyday transactions are slugs, silver slugs.
Okay.
So you have 2 briefcases full of money.
Wow.
Besides, Ruby, I'm sure we could just go out on the street, grab whoever we needed. There's plenty of people everywhere.
Suppose it's better when we have somebody who isn't predisposed to knowing we shoot their boss in the chest at the slightest provocation.
Yeah, that was we're lucky he didn't die.
Well, it was a good shot.
Well,
I know what I'm doing. Trust me.
That's why I let her go, because if he bleeds out, then we're in more trouble than if we let him, vamoose.
He's
Oh,
still alive.
I wasn't aiming to kill him yet.
Yeah, well, always hope for the future, I suppose.
Yeah, well,
I'd like to take a look around, Ink. Can I get the
So
tour?
let me give you an opportunity here, which is that during that like very brief skirmish, there was something you missed. Do you want to resist it? Do you want to resist not noticing?
I would love to resist not noticing,
yeah.
but I think somebody with better insight than me should probably do it.
I'm going to.
Oh,
Yeah,
I will do so if that's all right.
Yeah.
go
Because Cloud wasn't really involved in the fighting, so I think that
Yeah.
they were yeah. Insight.
So if you click insight, it should give you a resist roll.
Yeah, I just roll it flat.
Yep.
A 6.
Oh wow! So that means that this costs you no stress.
Excellent.
Just that insightful. So as the fighting started, or as the and especially like when as soon as like Moth pulled the trigger, there's the bang of the pistol, but like in the wake of that, there was also a loud crash from upstairs, and then a couple of rhythmic bangs. And then as soon as things started to quieten down, they stopped.
Hey, Ruby, there's something weird going on upstairs. Maybe you should check it out with,
I was
just
about to take a look up there.
Your knife.
Well, hopefully not with that, but we'll take a look.
I'll be here.
And she sort of grabs the sort of rotting banister and swings herself onto the staircase and jauntily makes her way upstairs.
It's are you going alone? Are you going
I think
with
Moth would be going with them.
Yeah,
okay,
all
so
right.
you're going
Still the sounds of Cloud clank 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 like hammering into the wall with the
I think Cloud has gone distracted now and has moved on to actually trying to fix something, being like, hey, this
table leg is wonky or whatever.
Yeah, this table leg is wonky. I'm gonna fidget with it.
Belle is probably totally trying to engage you in conversation, and it's that kind of it's kind of what do you like? What do you like? Like what can I possibly give you that you might want? In the meantime, it is very eerie upstairs, and this being Duskwall, there's no light. Like it's always dark. The sun has shattered. So it is. What are you using to like? Are you going in the dark? Are you pulling out a lantern? What is the?
I think Ruby is trying to keep quiet. On their way up. Once they're closer to this dark area. And look at squinting into the darkness, trying to see anything that moves or anything that might give away whatever it was that she didn't hear, but that Cloud heard, and that she trusts Cloud. So
there's every so often there's a creak or a it smells musty. The atmosphere is heavy. The rain is pouring outside, so there's a clatter of raindrops against the roof.
Yeah, I think she puts a finger up to her lips and turns to Moth with a be quiet gesture. And then tries to sneak into the gloom to get closer without whatever is making this noise noticing. She's gonna press herself up against the wall or move it into crouch behind some furniture or something like that. I don't.
Yeah, it sounds like you're doing. You're making an action.
I'm prowling. What position would you say I'm in, Ink?
So, for reasons you are not privy to, your position is desperate.
Of course. And my effect?
And your effect is Your effect is standard for now.
Okay.
Just go with the default.
I'm gonna push myself for an extra die. Because I think I might need it. Oh, 2 5s. All right. Limited success.
You round the corner, and the this is a success, right? Like it's a partial success, but it's a success. You lead up to the like through the halls of the like abandoned halls of the upper end of the so you find nothing on the first few floors. Above you find that like in the sort of like attic areas, the spirit wardens converted this into a Deathseeker Crow rookery for temporarily for a little bit. But then there's lots of, it has a lot of kind of roof and lots of like access to the roofs of the adjoining buildings. There's a lot of like kind of scaffolding outside. There's a lot of big windows. There's like, you follow this kind of rustling, and you see in the attic level somewhat, like you see the signs that someone has been here. Like you see the maybe like a mug of something. You see the little kind of nest someone has made, clearly a sentry. You see the sentry next to this little pile of sort of knickknacks. They have been torn completely open. Like their ribs have like cracked outwards, and there is just like a gory hole where their abdomen was. Their organs are sort of splayed out.
Oh no!
There's been a tremendous mess. Their throat is also slit, and they're clearly dead. But you, like, as someone who's familiar to violence, you know that they have died very, very recently, and it's dead silent.
That's bad. Because there should be a ringing bell if they died. Okay, all right.
And the the consequence here.
Yeah, the consequence
is that this is a jump scare. You look around, you see the body. There is like you take one more look like around you, and there's nothing, and then suddenly crossing the distance from like a far corner to right next to you, some kind of figure just like rushes at you. It is almost supernaturally quick. You are just like hit in the sternum. You're going to take level 1 harm, winded. You are then dropped into you go flying right into the stairwell, and you crash down several flights of stairs. You take level 4 harm, broken neck.
Yeah, no, I'd like to resist that. I'd like to resist that, obviously.
So there are a couple of consequences here. So there is level 1 harm, there is level 4 harm, lethal, and there is also the fact that you've been knocked out of this place, which is a lost opportunity and a complication.
But I also feel like the being knocked out of this place leads to the level 4 harm. You know what I mean? Like, as a consequence of being knocked away,
so if you resist the level 4 harm, you will still end up in the same situation. You will just have grabbed onto the banister or something, but you will still end up having been bodily thrown several out of this room.
Okay,
onto the stairwell.
I guess that's...
You can resist that consequence separately. You can also resist the level 1 harm separately, and you can use armor on any of them.
I think I'll use armor for the 4, just so that I don't need to roll for that.
You can use armor and resist. So
and I'm gonna resist getting the first resistance I'm gonna roll is the resist getting like thrown across the room. I'm gonna do so with prowess, because I think that's just like, you know, she gets jump scared, but her reaction is to like fight back, right?
You like hat land on your feet.
She's been in prison several times. Like, so we're gonna roll with prowess. She gets a 6 for her prowess, so she's okay. And then
that was the being knocked across the room, right?
Yeah. So the only one left is the level 1 harm, winded.
So your the armor has reduced your level 4 harm to level 3 harm, and you can further resist to push this down to level 2, or you can use your heavy armor to get it down to level 2 and then resist all the way to level 1.
I will do that. So
chew up a great deal of your resources.
We'll use the heavy armor as well. So we've used the armor and the heavy armor.
But this is also an indication that you're in combat with something that is very, very
incredibly strong. Yes. And then we're gonna try and resist down to 1 again. Here we go. 4 stress on that one. Okay, good. And then I'm gonna try and resist the level. Oh no, I don't. I've only got 1 stress left.
So, you've got level 1 harm.
I've got 2 level 1.
2 level 1
level
harms.
1 harms. Yes.
One is winded and one is knocked against the wall.
Yeah.
So if the Ruby's stress meter goes all the way up, she would trauma out of the engagement, right?
Yes.
Down a Ruby.
So there is, you are knocked flying, and cat-like, you manage to sort of twist your body to absorb the blow of crashing against the wall. Your armor is ruined. Your helmet, if you're wearing one,
she's been absolutely torn asunder.
You've been hit with a freight train.
Yeah.
And you see in front of you there is like a humanoid figure. It is very dark.
You know what? I'm gonna go for another resist, just because if I trauma out, that seems like a reasonable time to do it. Here we go. Another resist for that level 1 harm, because I hate recovery.
Although you're going to end up with 2 level 1 harms anyway, right? And you will heal them both together, so it almost doesn't make sense here to resist them.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Actually, yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we'll keep it as it is. You're right. I was just thinking like getting rid of 1 might be beneficial, but it's not actually. Okay. Yeah, she sort of like pulls back very quickly as she can. What's Moth doing while I'm getting mauled?
Yeah, what? So Moth, you are walking beside Ruby, and then all of a sudden, jump scare, and she's just like slammed into the wall as like her position is replaced by something under a hood.
Oh well. At this point, Moth kind of a little spooked. But being the professional that he is, he wields his pistol and immediately shoots at whatever this figure is. I mean, just levels the gun, and just shoots as much and as fast as he can, straight into it, pushing himself for the barrage.
Okay.
Not wanting to take any chances with this, whatever it is.
So, the barrage will take you. When you push yourself to do this special ability, you can choose to increase the effect of your action, or you can choose an extra die. You also get the benefit of pushing yourself.
Let's do the effect this time.
So that will bring you up to. I think that will bring you up to great effect, because a barrage of shots will,
of gunfire.
Yeah.
So I want to ask Moth, what does a barrage with flintlocks look like? Are you pulling pistols and dropping them, or
is this like juggling?
So,
because they're like 1 action shot like guns, you know?
Oh yeah. Moth is decked out right now because we prepared.
Yeah, we went in heavy. Yeah.
So it's like flintlock 1, flip the rifle up over the shoulder, shoot it, let that slide back down. Flintlock 2. And then that's kind of it.
I mean, yeah, it's a barrage by flintlock standards.
It really is. I mean,
you have a fine pair of pistols. You also have an option for a pistol and a second pistol. So you could be carrying 4 pistols.
You could be carrying 4 pistols.
Use the load on. So you've pulled out. I see you've marked armor, but you don't have to mark anything until you use it.
Oh.
So the only thing you've used thus far is your fine pair of pistols.
Yes. Yeah. So we've used the pair of pistols. We'll go ahead and we'll have the other 2 pistols as well.
So you're just constantly
Well,
drawing and juggling
oh,
four
just
pistol
and
barrage.
just kind of screaming while doing it. You know,
Ah!
this is kind of a nightmare.
Okay, so great effect. What's the rest of the setup there?
Obviously, it's desperate.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is a hunt. Well, yeah, this is a hunt because
Yeah.
I'm going.
Remember, you can push yourself as well if you want to add dice or get a devil's bargain.
What do I get to know what the devil's bargain is before
You do.
I take it? That is okay. What is the devil's bargain?
So we can all think of ones.
Yeah. My devil's bargain would be that this is incredibly loud, and if we hadn't already drawn a lot of attention, it's gonna draw a hell of a lot more. Like, you're unleashing a barrage of gunfire in an attic. You know, like, the rooftops around us are gonna hear this.
The pigeons will erupt from the roosts on the ceiling.
That would be my suggestion.
Yeah, this will be loud. You'll take some more heat. Either way.
Okay with that. I'm okay with it being. I'm literally screaming. I mean, there's no more. You know, there's no more.
Oh,
Being
you're right.
about
You're okay. All right. Cool.
I'm already screaming.
And before we see the result of Favi's roll to barrage this figure that absolutely railed the shit out of me, let's take a break. Break time. We'll see you in like 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere, everybody. We'll be right back. Hello, friends, and welcome back. Let's find out what happens to
Hello.
our
To Moth and this strange figure that is rushing at us, and
Please shoot it. Please shoot it, Pappy.
well, I'm doing my best. So we have a devil's bargain. We're pushing ourselves to shoot as much as we possibly can. It is a desperate position, and the effect I am
Is
unsure.
Great.
Effect is
a
great.
gr-
It would have been
great effect.
standard to barrage this thing with. If it had just been one shot, it would have been limited. But it, the pushing is going to be increasing the effective rate.
So there's.
Imagine just before this is happening to kind of like cut back to downstairs where Cloud is having a nice little conversation with
Belle.
Belle about probably about like the varying uses of like feathers and like how how to make the best feather pillow.
So Belle, who is a consummate professional, is like you've never seen anyone so enthralled by everything you have to say, hanging on every word, just like you've probably gone through to like a kitchen or something, like or what is left of a burned out kitchen to like make some tea.
Yeah, and Cloud's just like, "Aw, feeling good about themselves," until the noise upstairs.
Until some screaming, multiple bangs, and then followed by more bangs of gunfire happen. Is there a bonus die on this?
Not unless you want to.
That's what the Devil's Bargain.
The Devil's Bargain gives you a bonus die.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I guess here we go. We're gonna roll the dice.
Okay, 4. That's not the worst.
Well, you know.
So this creature, whatever this creature is, it like you just fill it with gunfire. It like dodges the first two, which is terrifying. That like it moves faster than you can, like a blur, just like dodging out of the way of the bullets. But because you're firing a whole lot of bullets at it, it is caught by several. In its kind of like last moments, it rushes towards you, and drags you to the ground. It then rears back and like it punches you in the face with again like an enough force to just like splatter you. You're going to take level 4 harm. As it dies, it will take you with it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to resist that.
Yeah. Good call.
Death is
So,
not on the docket.
The way that resisting works, if you're not clear,
Tell for the audience, please.
You basically pick one of your groups of skills, so like insight, prowess, or resolve, and you figure out how you would resist with that stat. You know what I mean? Like, so prowess is like physical resist, insight is like seeing it coming, resolve would be like, you know, a mental resist sort of thing.
It depends on the nature of the consequences.
Yes.
And it's given to you. So in this case, it is a prowess resist indeed.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely gonna resist. And I'm gonna use up some stress and really.
Well, the only consequence of failing resist is that you gain stress.
Okay,
So
you gain stress. Right. Okay. And is there any chance of getting bonus dice on this resist?
No.
And can I use armor as well as the resist?
Yes, but in this case, in this case, resistance will just negate the consequence entirely. You go from level 4 height, you will dodge out of the way, like your head will jerk to one side, and it will hit the
deck.
So because that is automatic. However much stress you take, it is just like it pounds down onto the deck, and like the wooden floorboards just like splinter.
Great, more holes in the wall or in the floor. So, all right. So I don't have any bonus dice to this, so I'll go ahead and
You
roll.
just click prowess, yeah, and it
Right.
should let you roll it.
1.
5, so you only take 1
Well,
stress.
Indeed. So yeah, it punches down, shattering the floorboards. There is like a moment where it looks like you might fall into the next. There's like the floorboards start to crack.
Into the kitchen below.
But it then grabs you by the throat. And you can feel it's like a switch being flipped. Suddenly it goes limp. Like it looks you dead in the eyes. It's wearing a mask, and then just goes completely limp, and rolls off you, just like a doll with its strings being cut.
I think Ruby is like coming over towards you and goes, "You've been living here and you didn't notice that thing was up here?"
Moth laying on the floor,
Just like
shocked,
breathing hard.
scared, breathing hard, sweating bullets. Looks up and just says, typically roommates leave each other alone. I didn't bother them. And I'm glad I
Ruby
didn't.
like offers the hand out to like pick you up.
He stretches, a hand, picks himself up.
So she winces slightly because she's like bruised,
There's a cacophony of thumping up the stairs. Yeah, as Cloud bursts into the scene. What?
Uninvited guest. And I want to take a look at the body if I can, Ink.
So yeah, you remove the mask, and it's like a perfectly normal person. But she's dead, and it's also still silent. It's still silent.
Yeah.
Like her heart isn't beating. Like and she's covered in bullet wounds from Moth's like barrage. Like it's definitely way more than any person could have taken. But like again, like her life kind of slips away. But like it was as if there was no one in there.
So as part of my physicker, it says that I may study a malady or a corpse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I imagine Cloud is rather interested and terrified at the current situation because there's also the splayed, cracked open, dead person here as well, right?
Yeah.
Ruby gives you that was here when we got here. it's sort of.
And
that wasn't me. That wasn't her.
Moth, you recognize her. She's one of the minks that lives here.
Oh, no.
And as far as you know, like is just all you have seen of her is that she was just a regular person.
Oh.
Okay. So are you just feeding me bullshit, or are you sure neither of you killed that person or this person?
Well, I mean,
Well, I killed this one.
The woman's hands are like caked in blood, but like and it's probably that guy's blood.
Okay.
But I didn't kill that one in there. No.
All right. Well,
I mean something.
like neither did she. People can't crack open people's ribs with bare hands. That's
I don't think she
how
was.
that works.
I don't think she was a normal person there.
Yeah.
Cloud. She practically punched me across the room.
Yeah, okay. Sure, I believe you.
And then there's this giant crater in the floorboards.
Cloud's just being an asshole. Like there, it's it kind of looks at the floorboards and maybe. Let me take a look at her.
So this is going to be there's no risk here. This is going to be a gather information. So it is standard effect. Gather information is the position.
So I just have risky, controlled, desperate, fortune roll.
Fortune roll.
Okay. And then
and you can push yourself.
What's
Devil's bargain.
This case look like? Yeah.
You attract unwanted attention.
Ah, yes, unwanted attention. The best kind.
All right.
Best.
I'll take a. Can I push myself to increase the effect and take a devil's bargain?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So does that go from standard to great effect?
Great, yeah.
Yeah. And then I also took a devil's bargain. All right. Let's go.
Critical.
So this raises you up to extreme effect.
Yeah.
So the this probably requires taking this body to somewhere better lit, possibly downstairs. Everyone confirms that this is just one of the minks that lived here, and you perform like a very, very thorough autopsy on this corpse. They are
just like plastered out in the kitchen. You know, it's probably the best place that you can like have access to all the like bowls that you need to contain various organs and like the tools you need to
next to the stew
get
pot.
into stuff.
This is you definitely note 2 people here are dead and the bell hasn't rung once. But I think this gives you total insight into what this is. This is a normal person. However, they are almost like super. You've kind of seen this before in the when you were kind of like when you're bird doping with like demon blood. Their body has been kind of like supercharged with spectral energies. They were sort of like it's as you've seen similar things in possession victim in like textbooks of possession victims. But this was like when a ghost takes over a human body. You've seen similar things in very arcane, forbidden texts on vampires, which are like when a spirit is like absorbed into a body, into a ritually prepared hollow body, which is a body that doesn't have a ghost in it, that doesn't have a soul.
Corpse.
Yeah. This is this was possessed by something incredibly powerful externally, an ordinary woman. However, you like note some bizarre tattoos. She was ritually prepared for this. It would have escaped the notice of even like maybe the blue coat, like even the spirit warden's best like investigators, but you can almost see the like intricate patterns of like arcane preparations that have been almost like woven through her, that she is a vessel for something else, something external. And as you are dissecting her, her eyes flicker open and she looks directly, like her head moves and she looks directly at you, and then there's a kind of like sickening smile on her face as she like just takes in your appearance.
Hello. Covers the eyes like immediately with their hand. That's probably drenched in their
like where you're wrist deep in the blood of this.
Yeah. Just like spraying gore across the kitchen. Just they're like ah.
And she just giggles slightly. And then again, there's like whatever entity was possessing her just came back for a second. It looked at you, it saw you, it giggled a little bit, and then just turned off again as whatever entity just like withdrew completely.
I think Cloud now immediately goes to like dismantle the eyes. Like, just like getting can kind of fade past the gruesome body horror here, but there's some instinctual like holy goodness, that shouldn't happen. These
it's bad, it's creepy.
Yeah.
You get a because this was like this is an extreme effect success. You have total insight into like how it is like amazingly intricate. It is unlike anything you have ever seen before. It is like magic on a like true magic on a scale that is just mind blowing. It is like to have turned this person into a conduit for some external force, and then to like enhance them in such a way that like you can tell that this person is with the way that they have been changed. They can evade the notice of the Death Seeker crows. Like they can somehow cloak themselves. They can step around in the ghost field in this really weirdly flexible way. Like you've seen only fragments of this kind of like masterpiece. Like technology ?
Yeah.
Like and like it's maybe a lot of it is beyond you, but you're just like taking this in, and like this is
what a great time to get a crit success. Like
everything that you've learned from your Death Seeker crow comes into play here.
All right. So this shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear.
So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to try and save as much of the skin as possible.
Oh.
All right. You can watch. It's a pretty interesting process.
I could, yeah. I don't know if I will, though.
Starts slicing between.
Sound of flesh and blade happening.
Yeah.
Sound of wet meat.
Yeah, Moth being a bit squeamish around blood turns.
And obviously, like the other minks are like terrified, and also kind of like crowding around. They're like, is this the person they knew?
I feel like I gotta like you're busy cutting this body to pieces.
This is Loria.
I'm going to try and sort of what do you call it? Like step into the other room, like lead the
And then close the door behind you.
like lead the minx, yeah, like with me a little bit and close the door to the kitchen. Leave her to what she's doing and speak to them and say like something unprecedented is happening. She wouldn't be doing that if it wasn't necessary.
What happened? Is the chorus that comes up from everyone?
She was dead, but she wasn't actually dead. I'm not really clear on it all. Once Cloud is done, perhaps they can shed more of a technical light on things. But the person you knew was gone before this happened.
So there's like the murmuring of like some of them being like, yeah, I knew this place was cursed. Like I knew this place was haunted. Like because this is a place that was like raided by the spirit warden. Something bad was happening.
Yeah.
Like people started to trickle back in to squat here, and then there's like, oh yeah, fuck. This is why. This must be why, right? Like some of them look like they're about to make a hasty exit, and some of them are kind of like decide to stay. And yeah, like we can kind of abstract this that like Belle wants to negotiate with you and wants to be like, hey, let my people stay here. And I
think that
I take good notes. I can make you very happy. Like whatever you want. Like
yeah, I think that Ruby is like more than happy to let the minx like stay if they want to stay. Because it provides another potential angle for like making coin. Theoretically. And like the place was a brothel before, so why not, like use brothel employees to run it again?
Mm-hmm. And this is like, minks are generally they're streetwalkers, and like I think it's probably both men and women.
Yeah.
Because like there are just Duskwall is full of powerful women, and like they don't have the protection of a brothel. And so they've been squatting here because they don't have it. They are literally homeless.
Well,
and don't have
in
anywhere
an abstract way, I think Ruby is offering to be to extend her personal protection to the minx who would stay here.
And that is also like for some of them, there's definitely a kind of like no fuck this, I'm out. For some
For
of them,
sure.
there's kind of like a desperation that I have to stay. But you also see there's kind of like new gang in town, and they seem better than who came before. And like Belle is another illustration of like she doesn't have the protection of a brothel, and so like she's been maimed by someone, probably by the sister, Leviathan Hunter, for whatever reason. And this is kind of like, yeah, you can see that she's very much trying to please you, but there's also kind of like, oh yeah, this is maybe my opportunity. Everyone is looking for the next.
Of course, yeah.
You don't seem like totally hostile jerks.
I think definitely one of the other things that Ruby talks to Moth about during this like little time while Cloud is like geeking out over this science corpse, is making sure to check like every inch of this place, like all the rooms, the basement, like anything that could like give us an unpleasant surprise, like that attic.
So you find that the possessed Loria, like what she was doing was like tearing apart the place. Like she was there are like this whole place is full of holes where she was just like punching through the masonry, and seems to have found in a couple of places there's a couple of like voids where like structural voids that pass from the roof down to like there's some chimneys, and hanging in there like from ropes are like a couple of packs that are filled with supplies.
Okay.
They're like hanging down from the chimneys through like disused into like above disused fireplaces. There are a couple of them, and you find some that like the ones, the packs that like she managed to get to were on her. There's like just a couple of bits and bobs, like some. You find a couple that she didn't manage to get to before you arrived, and there's like some very high quality gear. There's a couple of stolen. There's like a clearly stolen, like just like packs of ledgers, like little notebooks that some of them are in code, some of them are very. They're just like clearly a business's ledger, and they're just all like set up in these packs. And then there's like climbing and thieving gear. Lots of really high quality stuff.
Well, this
place was a cache for someone.
Whoever that was, yeah, coming back for their stuff. We'll keep the ledgers aside. Maybe Cloud can figure something out with them.
Maybe.
I think that's the end of the score, Inc.
Yeah, this is score end. So there is a process for this. Let us
activate process.
So the first bit is payoff. The crew earns 2 rep per score by default. If the target of the score is a higher tier, then you take +1 rep per tier higher, or -1 rep per tier lower. So this was against the Lamp Blacks. They are the Colburns, who are the gang there. They paid up to the Lamp Blacks, and you also took devil's bargains that suggested that they will be coming back for revenge. So you have pissed off the Lamp Blacks. You have pissed off Marlowe, who is the Silkshore's Lamp Blacks gang boss. But that does mean that you get 4 rep.
Nice.
Mark on the crew, and then like when you reach the end, you are currently tier 0 strong. When you reach the end of that, you can tier up to
tier 1.
Process to tier up to tier 1, yeah, which means your gangs are stronger and that kind of stuff. There is also payoff coin. So I think the ledgers are the payment here.
They have value. Yeah.
They have value, but it's going to require something a little bit more to like actually turn them into value. I think there's no payoff here other than the fact that you've just seized this
we own the place.
Yeah, we got a house.
We'll also your reputation. Let's talk about like how
it went.
How Duskfall sees you now. So there's definitely an element in which you are really brash and ambitious, and possibly blunt. Like you just walked in and you shot the like
Yeah.
you just walked in and shot this guy.
After
that's-
waving a forged paper in his face.
Yeah, there's like bold or brash.
Yeah.
There's also
I'll write
professional.
bold and professional.
Yeah,
All right.
because you also like you dealt with the like you could have had you been like, yeah, everyone just get the fuck out, like all the minks here, you're out in your ear. Then you could have like incurred the ire of the citizenry, but you've treated them with equity. So I think you're good there. The second is heat, and I think as part of like it was going quite smoothly,
And then we had a barrage of gunfire to
yeah,
deal with.
and then there was a barrage of gunfire and screaming, which we also used the devil's bargain to say that it's loud, which is
Yeah.
loud and chaotic. High exposure is for heat.
Okay.
So the sudden violence takes us, yeah, like if that hits the end there, you get a wanted level, which means that the blue coats start to open a case file on you, and like they start to actually come after you.
Ooh.
Next we will do entanglements.
Yes,
So
yes.
who wants to? I mean, Elf, you want to roll this first, and we can
Sure.
share it around later.
Sure.
So you click the wanted word.
Any bonus die? No, huh? 6. Or
Lowest
take
result.
lowest, so 5.
So that's rivals, and we'll see that. We'll
I
see that
mean,
maybe later
that
in between
one's
sessions.
pretty obvious. Yeah, I think.
A neutral faction.
Mm. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So this isn't going to be Lamp Blacks. This is going to be someone else. That will come
That's
for
annoying, but all right.
you. You're just the
We're
being
just-
in Dustfall. You're just accruing enemies.
We're just gathering up enemies. Yeah. All right.
But you
rivals.
also have having pissed off the Lamp Blacks, having plus any additional heat from complications, devil bargains, etc. So I had 1 heat for a high-profile, well-connected target, which this wasn't. If it occurred on hostile turf, it wasn't hostile when you did it. It's
No.
hostile now.
Yeah.
Add 1 heat if you're at war, which you're not, and 2 heat if killing was involved, which it was. But this is being specifically negated by the weird property.
Yeah.
Of,
the strange
Loria.
non bell ringing Loria death.
She is able to kill people. She was able to kill people without triggering the bell for some bizarre reason. And also, more information that Cloud has gathered. The other corpse, it doesn't have a ghost in it. Like the problem with an ability that lets you avoid the notice of the Deathseeker crows is that corpse would have a ghost in it, and that because it will die, and then a few days later the ghost will come out. But not only has whatever happened killed this person and done it in a way that's hidden from the Deathseeker crows, it's also completely obliterated the spirit inside.
Well then.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a little spooky.
That's very dangerous. Whatever it is
Yeah.
very dangerous. No ghosts.
I have an idea for a research project. or for
Okay.
a
All
clock
right.
project,
All right.
But I know it's not the time
We
yet.
have
so-
downtime. We have downtime coming.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
we are about to
Yeah.
enter downtime, so
Yeah.
we let's go into our faction tracker, which
Yep.
is right here. You can see that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we are going to take a -2 with the Lamp Blacks.
If you go to the
Oh, yeah,
the character tab, for those of you who.
I should have pushed it in front of you all. If I click the show to players thing,
I see it. I
Yeah,
see it.
it popped
Yep,
up on my
yep, yep,
screen.
yep.
you are taking +1 with the red sashes.
I love the red sashes.
Because you have stolen something from a faction that they are actively at war with.
Yeah.
You've like automatically chosen a side.
The red sashes love us because the lamp blacks hate us.
Yeah, and Ruby has that connection, which means like if Ruby hadn't had that connection, maybe they wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
But Ruby is someone that is known to them, and like Anya, your contact, is also, and also Moth's ex-fiance is
Yeah.
affiliated with them.
Any other reputations we should know about?
I think there is a reputation. There is something that's happening with some secret faction, but that will not.
But
come
that's
into play.
but that's secret. So, okay.
We enter downtime. This is the phase of the game where we we have this really intense action. Everything's happening really fast, and then we take a step back and we see this. We see the. Let me just flip us back over to the map. We see this from a bird's eye strategic point of view. You are now ensconced in right here.
Sunrise House. Our base of operations.
You now have a lair. You now have turf. You have all the advances that are in your crew sheet.
Yes.
Such as quarters, such as a certain amount of security, such as a vault, such as a workshop, which is probably where you took the bodies, right? There is a there is a workshop that was probably where the cult sacrificed people. It's like this weird, it maybe doesn't look entirely like a workshop. There's maybe a mural on the wall.
Well, now it's Cloud's workshop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we'll get like the montage. I'm sure.
There's like a mural on the wall of a rising sun, of it's something that's very alien to all of you who've lived in Duskfall, with a world that doesn't have a sun. But there's like a mural of this sun rising over the horizon.
Painted a little frowny face over the sun, it's and just other little homey touches that.
They've brought in their favorite dissecting table from back home.
I don't think Cloud has a dissecting table.
I mean, I don't know.
But
you were the one who were talking about preserving skin.
I'm not sure if they know how to do that, but they want to try.
Fair enough. Yeah, so we have all the resources from our crew sheet. What else, Ink? What does our downtime allow us?
I'm also giving you a cohort, which you have earned in play, which is Belle Morriston, who is the leader of the leader of the squatters, who you have permitted them to stay.
Yes,
so
Belle.
She is, yeah. So she is going to stay on with you. She's going to join your gang if permitted, and her edge is independent. She's capable of making decisions on her own, and her flaw would be principled. She has an ethic that she's not going to betray, which is her people. She's doing this for a reason, not out of loyalty for you or for money or whatever.
Fair
Although
enough.
maybe.
Belle Morriston. Independent and flawed.
Expert mink.
I like her already.
Me too.
So,
you
what Cloud would like to do?
Oh, sorry.
If now's the time to get into it, I don't.
Yeah.
Jump the gun.
Oh, get into it.
All right, what Cloud would like to do is Cloud is from the body. Oh. From the body has grabbed a number of samples, specifically the eyes and the spleen and the liver and other little bits like that. So all the parts of the skin they're trying to preserve as best as possible to the glimmers of markings.
tattoos and markings.
Yeah, but the rest of it, the choice organy bits, they want to see if their forbidden burb is hungry.
The Death Seeker Crow snacks.
Yeah.
The Death Seeker Crow will totally eat organ meat. The additional detail is that a lot of the arcane runes are contained within this tattoo of a moth on the nape of the neck.
Okay.
Ironic. So what does that look like as a downtime action, Shimon?
Yeah, what is your intent here?
Specifically, like the like in terms of the flesh that has been infused by Leviathan blood, possibly. That's kind of like, does this have an effect on my bird friend? Is it tasty? Is it good? Maybe they try it on like some pigeons first before they escalate up to
This is an ordinary human in every way. You can
Okay.
tell, like you've like the very subtle, intricate magic and tattooing that has gone on. That like the ritual preparation for this person to become the vessel for something else. You also know enough about it that maybe you could attempt to replicate that ritual, but all it's going to do is turn someone into another conduit for whatever the entity this is. You are like aware that there is something out there that is able to possess people that have this particular preparation, which maybe indicates a cult of some sort or something else, or
but that the person themselves is unremarkable, other than the preparation. Okay.
All right, then disposing of bodies is a great way to feed to birds.
Yeah. Plenty of meat.
It's like taking buckets to. So I like brought up that little rules reference. Anything that is not one of those things, acquiring an asset, doing a long-term project, recovering, reducing heat, training, and indulging your vice, it is unrestricted. You can just do as much of it as you want. It is free play.
Yeah.
Those are the only you can do. You have 2 downtime actions, and you can do those things a limited number of times. So if you have massive amounts of stress, you might want to burn off that stress by indulging your vice, and then we get to see what does that look like.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna do that, just so you know. And I'm also gonna heal. Those are my actions, but I'll wait to narrate like one at a time.
So, who is going to heal you?
I mean, Cloud is my doctor du jour. I would assume.
Yeah. What do you need, Ruby?
She's like, well, when that woman, if you could call her a woman at this point,
the pile of meat,
surprised me. She got quite a good hit in, and the ribs are a little tender.
Okay, lie down. We'll see what I can do.
Just like looking around the workshop, like, you're not gonna do anything drastic, are you?
No.
It's real encouraging, Cloud. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
She just like lies down and lets Cloud poke around a little bit.
What does this look like, Cloud?
I don't imagine Cloud is particularly caring about like hygiene or anything, because she's like, okay, you described bruising. It's an internal wound. Whatever. I don't need to wash my hands.
I think Ruby has very clammy skin. It's like very, very pale. Like she looks like she's sick to a regular human, like pretty much all the time, but she's not. It's just part of her like Tycherosi charm.
Yeah, so despite her impeccable bedside manner, she's efficient. Like she's gonna get done what needs to get done. She kind of pauses when she does the more tender parts, like she's expecting you to like squirm out of the way or react like an animal might who doesn't understand what's going on, kind of thing.
Yeah. Ruby's pretty disciplined at this point when it comes to pain.
Yeah. And she doesn't really, like, talk during it. It's probably, like, a really awkward encounter.
Yeah, she just, like, just goes ahead, basically.
Yeah, Cloud doesn't really enjoy touching Ruby. It's unpleasant and gross and, like, Anything else? Is that it? Did you stub your toe? Get a hangnail?
No, I was just punched by a supernaturally strong, already dead woman. You know, nothing major.
Yeah, you were. Goes back.
So I'll just roll a recovery roll. Let me see. Where's my recovery roll? It's a fortune roll, isn't it, for recovery, if I remember correctly?
So Cloud is making a tinker roll.
Oh,
Of,
yes.
their special ability, and because is somebody help is like is Moth helping here? There's a cheap and easy way to get another die.
Yeah, why not? You know, Moth is worried about Ruby, especially after seeing some.
Ruby's job efficiency is based on her being able to fight things. So
well, and after seeing that, and after it nearly pancaking his face, he went, maybe I should check on her this time. Normally I'd be like, Ruby's fine, but oof, this was different. So yeah, Moth would definitely be there.
There you go.
All right, Moth. Make sure hold her like real still right now, okay? Really still.
Right.
She can't move at all. Like,
At
and
all.
I'm gonna push, so you have to be holding.
Oh,
Right. Ready, and
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Crunch.
He hold on very well.
You could have
Moth
just
very
told
timid in his-
me.
What if he flinched? It wouldn't have worked. Anyway, it's. I think it's good. It's probably good enough now. Let me know how you feel tomorrow.
Roll your tinker roll.
What is my position?
Fortune roll.
Okay.
With a +1 because of Fabi.
+1 dice.
Yeah, because of
standard effect.
Got
Moth being there.
I rolled a 5.
That is 2 ticks on the healing clock.
Which is a clock that is 4. How many ticks is it? 4 ticks big?
It's you actually have this tick on your this clock on your sheet.
Oh, I sure do. There we go. All right. Well, I'll leave it for now.
You could just use the second action to do that again.
I could, but I really need to clear my stress. So.
Oh yeah.
I can't really. If we have any extra actions or any ability to do extra actions, then I'll edit. But if not, it's fine. I can go with level 1 harm. Level 1 harm's not going to cause me too much of a problem. Less effect.
We could use one of our coins, life savings.
Yeah, we could. But let's talk about other people's actions first. I don't want to.
Yeah. So there's also like we can zoom out and we want to get a drug operation running here. So like we've got supply. Where are we getting our supply from? Where are we producing the stuff, and who are we selling it to? Because currently we've got a very nebulous idea of like we're gonna make it big with drugs. How? And we can like
we need to source some
Leviathan blood.
Some Leviathan blood, as well as the like, I don't know, some birds to incubate it in. I suppose the birds to incubate it in are pigeons. You could just catch them.
Oh, I love that. It's like made in.
Yeah, it's made in burbs.
Made in birds.
Yeah.
It's bird.
Here's the plan. Here's the plan. All right. So, Moth, you're gonna get me pigeons. So you're gonna have to work with your friend in order to like grab as many as you can. You can't kill them. Like, don't kill them. Okay? Just bring them in and throw them in one of the empty rooms. Yeah, just throw them all in there. Make sure there are no holes in the room. Okay?
You have a cage?
You don't need a cage. You just need a room. I mean, yeah, you want to transport them in a bag, or you can hold them.
Huh.
Think of it like a game, right? You're running around in some form of competition that you nobles are always getting up to. You're just catching birds instead of balls.
Right, and you. He
We
pinches his
have the
nose,
collect pigeons clock.
Yeah, there you go.
You-
Collect sufficient, and this includes like getting the stuff for a little aviary. This includes like all the whatever you need to start building the pigeon collection.
start
and
pigeon
then
collection.
All the equipment to be like milking them. Are you like taking the eggs and like extracting it from the eggs?
So yeah, what my
Yes,
thought would
pigeon
be is
egg system.
exactly like taking
my
the eggs
gosh.
and then grinding up the shells into like something you can snort.
Oh.
And it's
Collect
like it's
pigeons.
mostly calcium, but there's the
That's what
trace of
the
like just because
Leviathan blood.
that's how they extract the mystical substance that is contained within the Leviathan blood that we have refined.
Leviathan blood filtered through pigeons.
Yes.
This is
Love
the
it.
coolest drug ever. What does it do?
I don't know, but it's very excellent.
Oh.
Okay.
So this is a long-term project clock.
Yeah.
Either of you can work on it. Like for example, Moth might want to go hunting with his hunting pet and use that to take the clock. Cloud might want to go alluring the pigeons back, or might want to go buying pigeon gear or whatever. Any of you can contribute to it. Once it is full, you have a room full of pigeons, fictionally.
I love it so much.
Yeah, so
Right,
after,
but
after
also
a-
we need to get the blood. So which one? Yeah, you do you. You know what you can do. Yeah. All right.
right. I'll let you take care of the pigeons, and I'll get the other stuff.
Uh, not. I mean, I'll get the room ready, but I'm not gonna. Can't catch pigeons. Look at me.
What do you expect me to do? Just stick my arms out and grab them?
Run after them. I don't know. You're spry.
Use your bird.
Huh, right. All right. Okay. I've gone fine wine, catch pigeons.
Gone
Definitely
from
a
fine
Moth
wine to
moment.
catching pigeons.
Where he's just, yep. This is your life now.
We gotta start somewhere. You'll get back to the fine wine. Don't worry about that.
So I've also got this Leviathan blood supply clock. This isn't a long-term project clock. This represents how much you have on hand
to use. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you will deplete that, making the stuff. We might have like another one that's like drug supply. It's the various stages of manufacture, but yeah, we'll build up some kind of like clock-based system to represent this drug empire.
Love it.
That's amazing.
Okay, so downtime actions we can take. Now there's a collect pigeons downtime action, a long-term project that can be done. I can't do it because I need to clear stress. I'm
Right.
one stress
I
away
think that's
from
what-
stressing out.
I
I
think that's
could,
what Moth was off to do.
Okay.
yeah, well, and I could have Cloud can like prepare the room. and
Yeah,
what
like
have you.
buy some pigeon supplies from local aviary store XY.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, obviously you know the local sellers for bird
and
stuff.
or go to my former place of employment and dig through the
And
trash.
steal things, yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay, well, who wants to do their next downtime action?
I'll go ahead and we'll take the. I don't think we've introduced the Iruvian hunting falcon.
We have not. Tell us about them.
Well, it's gonna be very poor for this job of catching pigeons. It's this bird, which was not present in this, but it's a large prized falcon that's come from a long line of falcons in this noble family, and it's just this massive, gnarly, horrible looking monster of a bird. It's very fearsome. It's very independent. It's overly savage. It's not reliable in the least bit. And it's not a pet. I would hardly call it a companion as much as just like he's there, and he keeps coming back. Moth is probably a little more scared of the bird than the bird is scared of Moth. So,
is it like a vulture?
it's a very nasty falcon. But yeah,
Are we talking about a falcon the size of an eagle, or is it just an eagle?
Yeah. I remember you describing it as like a big vulture-y thing.
Like, you know what? Yeah, it is like a big vulture. That's how we did describe it.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Does it have a name? This vulture?
Percy.
Percy. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Then we came up with some edges and flaws, right? It's fearsome.
It's fearsome, independent, savage, and unreliable.
Percy.
So what you're saying is there are going to be a lot of dead pigeons as well.
It's Iruvian hunting vulture.
It will likely not come to the pigeon gathering, and it will likely stay away from the pigeon room. Though
so I have set you up, Percy, on your character sheet.
Lovely.
Percy is awesome.
So we do have Percy, and so I guess Moth and Percy are gonna go collecting pigeons.
All right, pigeon hunt.
Are you hunting the pigeons with your?
We are. I have fed Percy well before going. Obviously.
Yeah.
A rat, a pigeon, something. Just it has eaten, so it's not hungry. But
we have bodies to dispose of.
It's had body.
It's a big vulture.
It's a big bird, and it's gnarly.
Yeah, I'm imagining it on your arm being like really oversized. You know what I mean? Like just a big old boy.
Yeah. So we have so Percy and Moth are having some bonding time over these pigeons. Whether or not it's the correct thing to bring Percy along, well, we'll see.
Okay, so I think you got to make a roll.
So is that a
hunt roll? If Percy is helping you, then extra die.
All right. What is my position in this?
It is. I'm gonna say it's because it would normally be a fortune roll, and that will determine how many ticks you get on your thing. But there's also, I guess, yeah, just it's let's make this simple. It's a fortune roll, standard effect.
Wonderful. With an extra die?
Yeah.
Extra die for Percy. You can push yourself, but I mean, why bother?
No need.
6. Yeah.
A 6 gets you 3 ticks.
Oh, half the pigeon's already done. And then Ink will fill in the 3 ticks on the clock. Boom.
Like so.
Like so.
You can spend a coin to bump that to 5.
Are Ink?
Or to just do it again.
Question, Ink. Are these wheels made by you?
No, the wheels are they came in the Blades in the Dark handbook. They are literally the graphics that
there you go.
These in the handbook. But the filling in that was just done by me and Gimp.
Oh, well, good then. So the filling in is Ink done, and the outline is from the book.
The filling in is inked by Ink?
Yes, correct.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, I don't think we need to spend a coin to get to more pigeons necessarily.
I think we'll be all right.
I think we're okay.
So Cloud's gonna do some repairing of this pigeon aviary because they probably care more about making sure the pigeons are going to be
more comfortable than you are.
Well, I've set you up a repair decor clock, and that is the house as a whole. to like bring it back into the order that it was beforehand. And so there's like the first one is just like take it from being this horrible rundown disaster of a place that it's just like it's leaking everywhere, there's holes in everything. This supernatural thing has punched through half of the walls, and like to something that's like at least commensurate with your 0 tier. It's a pretty shitty place.
Yeah.
It's really unpleasant to live in.
Then I think the first part of this repair job is going to be just like figuring out what is critical to fix. Like how do we start? So I kind of want to use a survey to identify the worst places to, like, this is a hole that is actually, letting in rain versus this is just a window.
Wait, so are you doing
yeah.
the decor, or are you doing things for pigeons?
This
Well,
sounds like decor, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like
Or
decor.
it could also be pigeons too.
As much as Cloud wants to look after the pigeons, like
The decor is also important.
Yeah, if the building falls apart,
I just wanted to be clear,
Yeah.
Yeah, nowhere to put the pigeons if we don't have a building.
I imagine maybe there was some persuasion by Moth in this direction, like Cloud, stop focusing on that.
Yeah.
So this is a fortune roll, right?
Yes, it's fortune roll with standard effect.
Standard and no bonus dice.
Oh, critical!
Wow.
What is with Cloud and the crits? Holy shit! 2 dice, 2 6s.
It turns out Cloud's also a carpenter.
Yeah, you're like amazing architect for some reason. How what does this look like?
Yeah.
You're like taking measurements everywhere.
So yeah, I think Cloud just like settles into a fugue of productivity where they just like have like they're doing measurements with like a knotted cord, they're going back and forth, they're like cutting everything perfectly on the first try. They're like painting over stuff with like they lucked out and found paint of the right color that happened to match this color, so they're just putting it together.
Cloud looked at the blueprints before we took the building over and like already had a plan for how everything was gonna go.
Yeah.
You like locate. This place is full of secret doors and like every every bookcase is probably some kind of like secret bookcase door to some other room. Like there are a bunch of rooms that aren't really accessible except by secret rooms. Like this place was clearly built by a cult. And it's just riddled with passages and hidey holes and places where you can go and spy on other rooms and all kinds of stuff like that.
I point out like the little spy holes to the minxes and say like, hey, you can use that, right?
Yeah, they can keep an eye on one another if they bring clients back.
Yeah.
Are you charging your squatters rent, or are you just permitting them to live here?
I don't think Cloud would have the concept to charge rent. Like, I don't.
The
think
answer
they would
is
care.
yes. We're charging them rent.
So, well then.
But it's gonna be nice. I mean, you're repairing it right now. You know what I mean? It's gonna be way better than when they were being charged rent by what's his butt?
Yeah, by the
Ballard.
plant.
Yeah. So you're gonna get them a lease?
No, we'll keep things. What would you call it? Loose.
All right. Well, speaking of loose, can you tighten that over there?
She just like turns to do whatever it is she's being directed to do. So I think that's my answer there, Ink.
Okay, I'll make a note of that. So that will go some way towards some of the running costs of this place.
Ruby has the business sense to charge them rent.
So
what else?
each of us
are
have
we
another
doing?
downtime action.
Yeah,
Right?
each of us have another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My second downtime action is going to be to go to the red lamp, which is my vice purveyor, because I need to reduce stress.
So paint me a picture.
I was gonna say if someone else would like to go first with a short,
Oh.
potentially shorter downtime action, then I'm cool with it
Sure.
as well. All right. What's
So-
Moth
so-
up to?
Moth gets around with the minks and says, "Look, ladies and gentlemen, there was a lot of noise here, and there's still a lot of noise going on with all this banging and fixing and sawing. Everyone that comes by and asks, that's all that noise was. There was no gunfire, there was no shots, there was no threats. It was just all fixing up the building. And we're going to try and reduce our heat."
Yeah, you got it. It sounds like you're using consort. I shouldn't be telling you what action rating to roll, but it does sound like you're consorting with your minx.
That was the intent. This is a fortune roll.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
Downtime actions are basically all fortune rolls.
Okay, and then it's just a standard effect.
Indeed.
Ooh.
A 6.
In fact,
Two.
I was just almost in time, but you're rolling an extra die because you're being
Oh.
assisted by you have a cohort helping you.
Just do a
you
slash.
have- no.
Just do a slash
just
roll
slash-
d6.
Slash R d6, yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
It's not a critical.
So reduce heat. That is three heat that you're reducing from
Oh,
the cruise.
very nice. Very nice. There we go. Our heat is looking a little more reasonable now. Wonderful. That was good. Like just Moth just using the minx to spread the good word.
Yeah, just
Word
roll
that
straight
we're
into
just
it.
that we're just fixing up the place, making it nice, and taking out the trash.
How about you, Siobhan? What's your second downtime action?
Suppose I'll jewel the blood dealer.
What was that? Could you repeat?
Oh, Jewel the blood dealer is one of my friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I want to talk to them about a blood supply. So I'm probably gonna
Oh, getting some Leviathan blood. Nice.
yeah. So I'm basically gonna go up to him and say like, all right, I've got this great opportunity that if you get in on the ground floor of, we're gonna be buying so much to supply through you, but we need to make a prototype. So if you invest now in our prototype by giving us some supply, we will guarantee that we will purchase at least 4 liters from you every week.
Some amount. You don't necessarily. You don't have to
X
specify.
X
No,
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pulling the numbers out of my hat. Cloud is probably very specific about like what their plan is.
The great thing, we don't have to simulate the to that level of fidelity. Cloud
Yeah.
knows what Cloud means.
Um,
But yeah, Jewel. What does Jewel look like? What are Jewel's pronouns?
Yeah, give us a.
I'm
paint us a
imagining
picture.
that they are Iruvian, probably associated with the Unkayats, who are the people that run the Iruvian Leviathan Hunter fleet, or half
Yeah.
of it at least.
so I think that Jewel is someone who used to be on the fleets, but has kind of like graduated to a desk job.
Oh yeah, like ex-engineer for a
Oh,
Leviathan
yeah.
Hunter, or like
Yeah.
the person that operates the pump that pumps the blood out of the demons.
Yeah, yeah. Like they graduated to a desk job due to like a violent injury. So they're like I think maybe they're maimed. They don't have like they're they've recovered mostly, but it took them out of the field like for long enough that they had to find something else, and
Oh,
they
is it like a
lucked
kind
out. They
of?
pulled all the strings they had in order to get this desk job, and you know that's what they do.
It's like
Uh,
burns that they're completely wrapped from head to toe in like almost like a gas mask because like they were splattered with like Leviathan blood on the high seas, and for some reason it became active and
Yeah. And now they kind of just like when they're processing, doing inspections and making sure stuff is going through, they just kind of skim a little off the top every time and just mark down as like, "Oh, this was spilled in transit."
a little private stat.
Oh,
Like Jewel
yeah.
also is in a cushy position, dealing with like the captains will take their own private stash too. Like everyone gets a cut. Like the majority of it goes to be refined at the like Lockport refinery, to the detriment of the Scotlanders and the acid rain that falls on their homes due to the horrible pollution of the industry. There's like private refineries, but like Jewel is very like calculating, knows exactly where everything is going down to the last drop, and is like has some like has some kind of like lenses in their eye, like the I'm imagining the kind of like Tusken Raider aesthetic, like some kind of lenses that correct for severe damage to the eyes, but is very like is very like a person that runs on clockwork, knows exactly what's going on at what time. And Jules says,
So Cloud's coming at this with a position of like, this is a cool experiment that like might really work into something, and
"Oh
kind of
man,
drawing upon their shared history. I think maybe Cloud like kind of helped them out with some of their health issues, like when they're
yeah."
like,
Unoriginal poster in chat suggests, did Cloud meet them while healing that injury? Cloud is a doctor, although kind of a vet, but like, is that part of like the connection there?
I think it would just be like in passing, like maybe Jewel got invited to one of the falconry events that
Did Cloud help her out with like some under the table painkillers, that kind of stuff?
yeah, just kind of like, hey, like you all right? Sees sign of injury and just like kind of like helps them out with like, just take this and nobody will notice that you're not feeling well. Keep on
Burn
going.
wounds are like horrible for that. Like pain management is like one of the big
Mm-hmm.
things about burns.
Mm,
If you maybe have a little few bottles of a little something, and maybe that's like very appreciated.
yeah, and then Cloud would definitely then try and spin this in the angle to be like, you know, this could have pain killing properties, unprecedented by anything else. There's a real opportunity here for both profit and personal benefit. Uh,
Let me stop you there, Cloud. You heard the news? The supply is down of late.
oh,
There's a shortage, but the captains are always looking for profit. They sell it to the Imperium. They know they're going to get a standard price. The question is, how much are you wanting to pay for this stuff?
well,
What are we talking here? Valuable, something that people will pay
it's
top
it's
coin
it's
for.
it's something that is well,
And also,
you know the last falconry races, the ones that you were watching. Let's
oh
just
yeah,
say that the birds that won, all of them were on this stuff, like all of them.
and they like
That's like already. It's pretty, faster, stronger.
better, all of that stuff. It's really, really useful.
Can you get like they like hold up a kind of like what does a canister of Leviathan blood look like?
It's probably like in a standard tin, right? Like
Yeah, I'm imagining like a not like an oil drum, but like a smaller version of the same sort of thing.
I'm just imagining a jerry can.
Yeah, like a tin jerry can.
Yeah. Or like an olive oil, like one of those tin olive oil containers that you get that are like square so you can stack them.
Oh yeah.
And I think they're like, yeah, drugs are a high value business, right? Like, like, sure, we could sell this stuff as fuel, or we could have people huffing it, and like, and they'll pay more because it's a more premium product. So
and think of it like this one can is gonna go through like 100 birds, and those birds they can lay an egg every week or so.
So I'm gonna mark a tick in your supply.
Yay.
For like, Jewel is definitely convinced by that. Like, you don't have to make a roll here. Is definitely convinced by this that like, okay, first one's free. Like, get me some of this stuff. Right? Like, I want to see if this stuff is worth it. Don't disappoint me. And like, this is because we're good, right? Because we have this. Like, you've helped me out in the past, so this is me repaying back that favor. Now you owe me one.
Of course, yeah.
Show me this is a good investment. Don't make me regret this.
You got it, Jewel. Probably like giggles a bit to themselves as the door closes behind them and they have this little the candy, like they walked into the candy store and then like walked out with
probably like a satchel of cans.
Yeah.
It's probably this like incredibly bright. I'm imagining that it's like it glows and it's really like it's sickening to like it's a sickening glow to look at. It's like this really eldritch stuff. It smells bad, like unprocessed, unpurified. Like this is the blood that comes out of demons. Like
it's got some bad gasoline stink. Yeah.
It goes through several tiers of processing to like refine it into something that's actually usable. This is maybe like it smells like fish, right? Like it's maybe not even like processed gasoline. It's like this horrible, sickening, fleshy, disgusting blood thing, and it's like angry. Like it has to go through processing to be usable because it's this angry demon blood. You now have some demon blood.
Hell yes.
Tasty.
Storing it away now, singing an off-tune song to themselves.
And this has like the tins are like marked with like like an alphanumeric code. And then let me find.
Ink searches for something.
It's like it has an alphanumeric code, and then it says
Drikath
of the Grey Morning, and it's the name of the Leviathan, the name that they gave the Leviathan, that this blood comes from.
Nice. Drikath seems like a cool guy. I mean,
great. We're gonna have names for different strains based on the names of the Leviathans.
I'm already planning.
Like honey.
Yep. We're already planning the spin-off drugs. Okay. Well, I guess that leaves me for my downtime action of going.
That wasn't a downtime action.
Oh.
So
that was free play. True.
Yeah, that was free play. Cloud still has a downtime action to use.
No rolls were made.
Yeah.
Well, repair decor and collect pigeons both have the potential of being finished. So I'm just gonna say, repair decor is 100% guaranteed, even if you roll failures.
I'm gonna try and finish off the decor. I think
Yeah,
I'll try and
nice
finish
place.
that up. Yeah. I think I'll use a now as the final touches are being done, I think it's more fine tuning, so I'm gonna try and do a tinker to get the last little finishing touches to make it let's not say like a great place, but a place that
Functional place.
functional place,
Is this
a
like
place that's
getting
not a
it
biohazard.
getting it set up with like electroplasmic lighting, which is like a tinkering thing. The
Oh,
demon energy that powers the city,
yeah,
electroplasm.
yeah. It's like, all right, we're gonna get the lights on.
You're doing
Let's do it.
you're doing the wiring.
Yeah.
Another 6.
Yeah, that's another 6. Yeah.
So that the decor is repaired. This place is now, it's still really shit, but like it's
But now
functional.
it's functional shit. Yeah. Instead of dilapidated, like useless, terrible. Cloud living the dream. Yeah, doing the wiring, getting it all set up all nice.
It slaps roof of bird. This bird can fit so much Leviathan blood.
All right.
So there we go.
I guess I'll do my last downtime action, and we'll go to the red lamp, and my vice purveyor.
Do you bring anyone with you? Is this like a
Peslin.
celebratory? Are you like night out on the town? Come with me.
Does anybody
We'll
else
show you
want to
everything.
come with Ruby to party in the red lamp?
Oh yeah.
I am way too busy.
Okay, so not Cloud, but definitely Moth.
Oh
All right.
yeah. Moth, comes back with an armful of pigeons with with Percy. Says, Percy, put these in the room, and immediately, without a shower, without even brushing off the clothes, party time.
Yeah, Ruby's like getting dressed after like having a bit of a bloody combat, and says, as she's headed out the door, catches Moth and says like, "I'm headed to the red lamp, if you want to come."
Oh well. Twist my arm, why don't you?
I know it doesn't take much. I know you like it there.
I do.
And we're off down the street, walking through Silkshore.
I mean, slam cut to the red lamp. What does it look like?
Yeah, so opening up into the red lamp, this is a swanky place. This is the lap of luxury here in Silkshore. This is like
the oldest and most famous and most well-regarded brothel in Silkshore.
Exactly.
And just generally like house of pleasure.
It is.
The proprietor, Madame Teslin, is renowned as like the best, most experienced brothel madam in the city.
It's got all kinds of goodness. You want a drink? There's drinks. You want a good time? There's good times to be had. You want a nice bath, which is something we added in our descriptions because it's they got that, no problem.
And like imagining Madame Teslin is just like she is so skilled at her profession that she is able to tell almost telepathically like exactly what you want. Very very little queuing in is like I'll take care of it, and just like whether it's baths, whether it's like the moment you start feeling a need, she's just suddenly there to sort it out for you,
figure it out for you. Yeah.
And like it's expensive, like represented by like this is a downtime or a coin, like as in it's a briefcase full of money to come here, but yeah, I assume Ruby is Ruby is mechanically paying for Moth, right? Like,
I think a Ruby has been here many, many times. Like her and Madame Teslin have seen each other from when she was a much younger scoundrel, if you know what I mean. Like she's been to prison since she's been here,
And Madame Teslin is like one of those people that is her age is just impossible to place. Like she just ages like fine wine.
You just can't know.
like she looks identical to when when you were a kid, like, and
Yeah, I think I come in and I like make my way towards wherever Madame Teslin is sort of like floating, like the bar or like a table or something, try and get her attention, and sort of give her the polite greeting of someone returning from a brief departure.
Ruby, my favorite, dear. Come.
Your favorite. Well, I mean,
And she literally calls everyone her favorite.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, well, I mean, we're all your favorite, I know. Have you met my friend? This is Moth, Madame Teslin.
He extends a hand and says, "Oh, I've met her plenty of times.
Like
But it's
gracefully,
always a pleasure."
like gracefully takes the hand and bows, but like you absolutely can tell that she is like plugged into the rumor network, that she knows exactly what went down with like the scandals and everything, and she is like, you can tell she recognizes. You can tell that there's also like a kind of like, I'm not judging.
No judgments. Ruby,
and
like
maybe she says something about like makes some passing reference or something to like here, let's just like relax and get away from all that kind of like sordid business.
Yeah, I think Ruby like quickly pivots to business talk, because like the pleasantries, like Madame Teslin is an expert. She doesn't need to be coddled with diplomacy, so to speak. Is like sort of the way that Ruby sees her. And
You're
it's
paying
like
for a service here, and like she is part of that service.
Yeah,
and part of the service is dealing with whatever pleasantries.
It's a long-standing relationship, right? And Ruby's like, think just the usual for me tonight. If you got a room available,
And there's probably some like really. So I'm imagining that the red lamp has like, it has something for everyone. There's probably like hanging out in front of the red lamp, there is probably like the red lamp that at one point was just a red lamp, but now is like
the red lamp. Yes,
it has a cage with like a ridiculously attractive himbo in it that's just like swaying back and forth as he's doing like a kind of sexy dance to entice the tourists that these like really fancy gondolas coming back and forth to and fro on the river. It's like this Venice-like place. And then there's like, there's rooms that would look like, some of the rooms look like something out of like a Versailles, like royal appointed. Everything is gilded with gold. Some of them are just very cozy and comfy. What is the room that Ruby picks? Like what is her absolute? And like like Madame Teslin can almost just from like, even from the moment she met you, knew exactly what you wanted, and created a room specially for you that is like.
I think Ruby
goes. So it seems.
Ruby goes for the sort of like the high life kind of play, like room. It's very much like an escape for her to be in like the absolute like lap of ridiculous luxury. It's not something she ever got to experience. Like, she's never like a noble or had like she guarded some nobles. But like to be pampered is her vice, basically. She's into the luxury.
Do you pick? Are you in a room that is on the corner of the canal, so you can see out over the canal, or are you like in the like closeted in the building itself? So you don't want to look out. You don't want people to look in.
No, I think she's got a little bit of privacy in that regard. She like keeps it to herself. Because it like almost feels like it could be construed as weakness, like the amount of like pleasure she derives from just being comfortable. So I think she's like probably a tinge embarrassed about it.
At one end, there is like almost like maybe there's a cityscape or some kind of like big. Again, there's like a big mural on the wall that's illuminated with electroplasmic lamp from above that mimics the sunshine, or is like a lovely dark cityscape. So it looks like a window. It's so accurately drawn. It looks like a window. It's like a map painting.
Yeah, I love that. Her activities here are basically just like getting a bath and like like a nice
Right.
hot water
Manicured.
manicure. Yeah, exactly. Like relaxing in a comfortable bed and stuff. There's no like traditional sex work going on, if you know what I mean. Like she doesn't choose a partner and kind of like go to town. It's more just like about taking care of herself, some her time, but with an employee or two to like help.
And there's maybe like massages, getting like shaved, getting like and you probably like everyone is ridiculously attractive and is also like constantly like smiling and giving you the service of being really nice to you.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Spa treatment,
She's
exactly.
royalty. Spa treatment. Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of her manner here. And I think she probably like peels off from Moth when this is going on. She's like, oh, I'll catch you later. Have fun. And
just like leave Moth in the
leaves
bar.
Moth in the bar with whoever or like whatever they want to do.
For Madame Teslin to kind of prey on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ruby's taking the hand of like whichever employee she's met before, sort of like, leading her off to the room, and just leaves Moth with Madame Teslin. So I'm gonna roll my stress relief situation. I can't remember how to do it off the top of my head.
The way we're doing this, we're implementing a tiny change to the rule. Usually it would be your weakest resistance rating.
Yes.
This time we're doing your lifestyle tier. Which, you can, if you click on you have like a stash thing, like coin and stash. If you click on the word stash, I think that.
Yes. All right. Well, I get 4.
So that is, I believe that is 2 stress, right? Oh no, hang on.
It's 4.
Yeah, it's 4. You clear 4 stress.
Yep.
It's like a resistance roll in reverse, right?
It is, yeah. All right. Well, it's not perfect, but it'll have to do. So Ruby's Ruby's away for the night, like relaxing into a absolute puddle. And probably isn't back home until the morning.
What does Moth get up to?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Moth get up to?
Oh, Moth kind of hangs out at the bar talking to the madame and does a little bit of the game playing with her, and it's just obviously it's not going to work because it's Madame Teslin.
Does he talk about any of our plans?
Oh, she has done this for far longer. Yeah, so she gets everything out of you.
Yeah.
You can resist that if you want, but with insight. But otherwise, she will just like you don't even know it's happening. It's just that smooth.
Oh, he damn near brags about it.
Yeah, I mean you got to impress her, right? Like,
oh, Madame Teslin, I shot him right in the stomach, right? Interrupted his whole monologue and everything. You should have been there. It was impressive. And he sips his cocktail, looking over at the
what color and glass type of cocktail is
it is bright pink with a lemon like spiral wedge.
I love it.
It's just like a martini glass.
Yes.
And it's almost fizzing.
Oh, it's like carbonated. Okay.
Yeah. It's a swanky drink. But Madame Teslin, we fixed up the whole place. It's gorgeous. It's not quite this, but it's not that far from it either.
And as you're probably on like kind of on the waterfront, right? Like
yeah.
As you're like chatting at the bar, we like in this like the TV series version, we momentarily see Ruka through crosshairs, through like the sight of a gun, an actual telescoping, as like someone on like an adjoining building like looks down the barrel of a rifle at Ruka, and then you see like on one of the gondolas that floats by, there's like an origami something. What is it? that tells you that like another of Steiner's like, hey, I'm I'm watching you.
Shit.
Yeah, what's the origami figure?
It's a vulture. It's like a swan, like a little origami swan, but it's supposed to be a vulture. And it's the telltale sign that Steiner is after me because I did in fact steal Percy from the family on the way out. And that is part of why he's been rehired as an assassin. But seeing that little origami swan, there's an immediate paling of the face and sweat on the brow. And then calmly, Moth finishes his drink. Madam Teslin, I think it's been lovely. Trust me. I've got to go though.
Do you like retreat into one of the rooms? Do you like?
I mean, you
leave
could come.
wherever-
You could come and find. You could come and find Ruby.
You could just barge in and be like, "Hey, can I hang out with you?"
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, yeah. So you make your way up to where Ruby's been led, or you ask for directions or something. And when you enter the room, she's like, naked in a claw-footed tub. Like the steam like rising off the water, like just she looks like so relaxed, just like absolutely at ease. And you enter and she gives you a look that's like really annoyed, like that you would just like barge in here, and she's like, "What?"
Well, you wouldn't believe what. Yeah, truly, you really wouldn't believe what I just saw.
What did you see?
A paper bird.
For a moment, does like Ruby think that Moth is just so overawed by the concept of origami?
Yeah.
I had to run upstairs and tell you.
Yeah, it's like, what? You're really harshing this for me? For a paper bird?
Oh, well, let me explain. It's not just a paper bird. It's the paper bird.
You're really lucky I don't want to get out of this water. Explain quicker.
Right. Well, it's a long story. Back when I was less destitute, there was a man, an assassin, lover, who may have come after me. And
Wait. Man, assassin, lover. All right. Came after you. Got it.
Yes. Well, with my obvious, I mean, he gestures over himself. With my obvious looks, I seduced him into not killing me. But that only worked for so long. And his calling card is a paper bird.
So you saw this bird, which means this assassin is nearby.
And I don't know if he's trying to seduce me or kill me.
Close the door. Sit down. Shut up.
And like hilariously, Ruby knows all this because she was hired by Grace to keep an eye on Moth in the first place.
I sure do. So
do tell me more.
So she just kind of like directs you to sit down in the room. The room is nice. It's the absolute, pinnacle of luxury. There's so plush seating everywhere, and it's, you're gonna be comfy. But Ruby's like, don't bother me for a little while. If anything happens, there's no windows. They gotta come through that door.
He shuts the door with his thigh-high boots and then slowly peels them off, sitting on the chair. Oh, well, I am glad you don't mind me being here. He wiggles his toes and then holds a foot over the bath. Do you mind?
Yeah.
If I... Oh, right.
Ruby like waves you off, like don't you fucking... There's like a look in her black eyes that like bloody murder for just a moment. Like, you're really harshing my buzz here. And she says, just sit down. Shut up. Be comfortable. Don't bother me.
Right. I can take a hint.
And she just kind of like leans back in the water and waits.
Runs a hand through his hair. As the night progresses, I'm sure more stress could have been removed had
you not shown up. Yes, yeah.
But
well, it's okay. You're a spectator to her rather private, relaxing time. Ruby looks a lot more human in this space than she does a lot of the rest of the time, where she's got a rather particularly Tycherosi approach to things, like in the way that like people consider Tycherosi to be spooky, and so she does things in a spooky way, She's very much less intimidating when she's just like chilling out. So Moth would get like some insight into that, I think, just like being here. But she's also like a little on guard in case anybody comes bursting through the door and, she needs to perform her bodyguarding duties.
Well, yeah, considering that Moth came in saying, "Ooh, ex-lover, assassin, turned whatever."
Yeah, on exit to the red lamp, it's going to be a very cautious exit.
Yeah.
But we've run to our running time. How are people feeling? What's the vibe? I think we could close it out on that.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's a good stopping point.
Well, yeah, because it's like a full rotation. But we should talk about XP and stuff, I think, before we do that.
So we all have XP triggers on our sheets. The crew also has XP.
Yep.
Who should we do first? Shall we do Cloud? Because we haven't seen Cloud in.
Yeah, let's do Cloud.
I don't think I rolled any desperate rolls. I think I addressed one challenge with technical skill in that the forgery.
I can count many instances of you. So you
Same.
You put together the lighting system for the thing. That's technical skill. You dissected a corpse, which is technical skill.
Yeah.
You came up with all the drug stuff, the eggs.
All of that was you. Yeah, it was like massive technical skill all through the
there
session.
Was the forgery. And there was the technical skill of healing, of like doing the medical care, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That.
Which is
lots of technical skill, maybe not much mayhem, but we'll get to that someday.
So that's two.
That's two XP ticks.
Yeah. And then you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I think I expressed my background pretty well with
you did, yeah. All the bird stuff.
Yeah.
Birds came up a lot.
Yeah.
The drugs, we like it's difficult to not get this one on the first session because we're introducing our characters.
Yeah.
So it's ultimately your choice how much XP to take.
1 or 2.
And like imagine like on a scale of like from you feel satisfied that you've done this as much as you possibly can to like but I feel like there was a lot of that.
I feel like you deserve 2 for that, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel similarly. Yeah. I don't think I did anything with my vice or traumas. Like my vice is like.
Well, if we don't know it, we don't have to know it yet.
You have not indulged your vice yet.
I haven't, and I have no traumas. So.
All right. So
that's it for me.
So it is. Let's do Moth next. So Moth, did you see where we were like going through this thing at the bottom of your character sheet? Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely had some desperate actions.
Yeah, you need to mark those in the attribute that you rolled the desperate action in. So
and I believe all of them were hunts. So that would definitely be some insight.
So it's probably like 2 or 3, but I don't know.
I want to say it was 2. I'm looking through these.
You could scroll up.
2 seems accurate to me.
Yeah, I'm looking through and I see 2 desperate.
Yeah,
roles.
2 desperate hunts. Yeah. It's 2.
And then Ruby had the desperate skirmish.
I did. Yeah, I've already marked mine.
Okay.
And then
I try and mark them as I roll them, so I don't forget.
Ruby
Do you
also
also
has a
have the
desperate
desperate
prowl.
command?
I also had
And a desperate command.
I had a desperate prowl and a desperate command. Yes, which are all marked.
I addressed a challenge with tracking or violence. Well, I think I did that twice.
Yep, twice.
Yeah.
I would say you get 2 for that, for sure.
Tracking pigeons, violencing the ballad.
Yeah.
Ballad and the ghoul, the woman,
Yeah.
the vessel.
Loria.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. A
Did I
hail of bullets
express
brought down a
belief?
supernatural monster.
I did. I and almost died for it, but that's
You didn't
That's
even
why
get
it's
you
almost-
didn't even get wounded. Come on.
you should have seen the floor. Express my beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I think the noble thing came up a couple of times.
Literally
did
just
come
told
up-
the story with
Almost every line was about being smarmy about the situation.
I totally agree. I think that's
So
2.
I
I think
think-
that's 2 for that as well, for sure.
I think that's 2 too.
Wonderful.
And then struggle with
Um,
issues from your vices or traumas.
Not yet.
Not yet. Soon.
Not yet.
Not yet, but soon. All right. I guess that means me. Only me. For Ruby, I've done my desperate actions already. So address the challenge with violence or coercion. I think I did that twice because we broke free and then intimidated quite well.
And then fought a ghost monster
And then
the...
fought and then that, so we'll take 2 for that. Express my beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Again, I think I'm gonna go for 2 on that. The Tycherosi thing came up a couple of times, and just like trying to describe her, the prison stuff, like the crime stuff.
Grace.
And Grace, yeah. And then struggled with issues from my vice or trauma. I don't know about issues, but we certainly learned what my vice was.
It's if it causes problems for you.
I don't think it really caused problems for me. I think it was it was perfectly rote in terms of its engagement. Yeah. So we'll call that good, I think. So everybody got 4 basically. And
the
then
crew is also a character.
And then the crew, the crew gets some stuff.
The crew is in many ways the most important character.
Yeah.
It endures. Even if your characters die, which is or retire, which is very difficult, then the crew may still endure.
Okay, let's mark XP. Acquire product, supply, execute clandestine or covert sales, or secure new territory. We definitely acquired supply because Siobhan went to go talk to Jewel, or not Siobhan, but Cloud.
Even supply on its own would be enough for 2 here because you did many things to acquire supply. You acquired some blood, you acquired some pigeons, you built a pigeon half built a pigeon aviary.
Fair
There's
enough.
you secured new territory, you secured a hunting ground, you secured premises. Yeah.
Okay, contend with challenges above your station. I mean, we pissed off the lamp blacks, but like
the lamp blacks are tier 2, and you tangled with them. You tangled with a Leviathan Hunter Marine, and
we also tried to shoot a freaking vampire or whatever. Yeah, so all right, we'll take 2.
We did good there. Yeah.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one. I think we could take 1 for that because we've just like got a reputation now instead of
you've developed 2 new reputations.
Okay.
Especially after that little chat at the Red Lantern.
Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. I thought we had some great crew-style banter going on, and like the way that the crew is operating or what we're doing became very clear to me. Like as we went on, like that Cloud was like sort of the brains of the operation, and also like needed to be kept on task a little bit, and that like Moth was still sort of finding their feet, but like had this kind of vision of things. That sort of stuff like was very
Can't agree.
Yeah, like became very obvious to me.
Everyone did their thing, express the essential nature.
Yes, yeah.
I definitely want to see a lot more crew interaction, but this is like a first session, it's to be expected. But the medic did the medic thing, the scientist did the science thing, the gun man did the gun thing, the cutter did the intimidation thing, and did the headbutting thing.
Yeah.
Everyone was archetypically embodied their playbook.
Yeah, we got to do the thing that we do.
You worked together to expertly pull off a score well. Like, you started in a desperate situation, but you made out like bandits.
Yeah, we managed it. Okay, cool. So that's the XP for the crew. So we're 2 off of a level up for the crew, which is neat. That's good. And I think that's the wrap, basically. Like, that's the end of what we need to do. If there's anything I've forgotten, Ink.
No, that is a wrap. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Well, let's do shoutouts then, and then we'll close it out for today. We went a little bit over, but we were all excited about doing this anyway, so that's fine. Let's start with Favi. Favi, shoutouts. Where can we find you? What do you do that you want to talk about? That kind of stuff.
Yeah. You can find my Twitter, where I will eventually use the platform. You can find that with @bagladder. I will put that.
I got it.
Awesome. You got it for me. Look at that. @bagladder. I post my artwork there about once every third moon, but that will soon change to every other moon.
Want me to link your art station too?
No, not yet. I'm that's a work in progress right now. I have
come
plenty
on.
of stuff. Okay, well it's the same. It's
You link it too, Ink. Link it in there. There we go.
Yeah.
Bag ladders where you can find Fabi's art.
Fabi has done some amazing,
some absolutely mind blowing, and I talked about it a little bit on one of our streams.
Yeah,
fantastic.
and I will be updating these soon. But I'm excited for what's coming down the road.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay, cool. Siobhan, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Siobhan. You can find me on Twitter, where I occasionally post stuff, which is I beat Elf to it.
Oh, yeah, I
occasionally post stuff.
I had it queued up.
Which is mostly to do with cats.
If you want to see pictures of Sobek and Anubis, Siobhan's Twitter is the fucking gold mine.
I will hit you up.
Anything else, Siobhan? Any projects? Anything you want to talk about?
Nah. I just want to talk about cats.
What about your chainmail? You got chainmail jewelry.
I could. My store is not active right now, so I don't want to talk about it.
All right. Okay.
Maybe next time.
And Ink, you want to go next?
I am Ink Covid. You can find me pretty much everywhere on Twitter and on Discord at Inkovid. I wear many hats. I GM this game. I'm playing in another game on Elf's channel on Tuesdays. The City is the End, which is very cool. I like RPGs. Yeah.
Ink, you did a fantastic GMing job today. It was absolutely immersive and very cool. Just wanted to give you the shout out there.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, the intro got me like, oh, give me shivers. But and then there's me. Hi, I'm Distracted Elf. You can find me here at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter @DistractedElf, where I do streaming stuff mostly. I play here, and I also play in The City is the End on Tuesdays, also here on my channel. And I do video game stuff in between. So, follow the channel and you'll see more of me and my face on the screen and stuff. For the RPG stuff, I'm doing no cameras because I don't know, feels cozy. But you got hit by the
I got hit by the bot.
The bot. I'll give you permission in a sec.
No,
it's good.
No one needs to see that artwork anyways.
I'm doing it. I've permitted you. You're good. There we go. I'm just gonna open it and show everybody on stream. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is Favi's work. This is some Drow Priestess action.
Yeah. This was a good friend of ours commissioned me to paint their character from Ravenloft.
Yeah.
And so this is Ulvirala Relinye. the priestess or Yathrin of Lolth.
She's amazing.
And oh god, what a great character! What a
it's good. I mean, it's good.
Character.
It's good stuff. But let's close it out for now.
Yeah.
I will see you all later, and thank you for joining us for our first episode. There will be more to come.
This time next week?
Yep, this time next week. See you there. Bye, friends.
See ya.
Cheerio.
Bye.